Yeah,
Here we go.
Start again.
Hi guys, and welcome to the Geeky Weekly Show. We've got 5 of us here at the moment, and we do have a guest. Bill, would you like to introduce your guest?
I would love to. Very rarely do we have an opportunity to have a guest that's both a comic writer, well known as being like the biggest at one point. He likes her now, I think, but he was at one point he was the biggest She-Hulk hater on the planet, and that's kind of how he made a name for himself early on. He became a wonderful editor at Marvel Comics. He worked with the great Mort Todd, who we just lost recently, and they worked on the Rock Comics line at Marvel together. And but Barry is also known as being a muse for John Byrne with the Fantastic Four villain Dada, who was named in his honor, who was a torturer of She-Hulk. So it's very appropriate. But the thing that makes it so cool to have Barry on our show is Barry is also a comic book hunter like the rest of us, and Barry often shows his exploits on his Facebook page of going the ups, the downs. You know, when he has a good day, it's a great day, but there's a lot of false starts, aren't there, Barry?
There are a lot of false starts, but I'm blessed to live in Southern California, a place where people are constantly moving because nobody can afford to live here, and when they move their comic book collection. So I'm the beneficiary of this very often.
That's fantastic.
Plus, there seem to be more collectors in Southern California than any other state. Maybe it's just because there's more people equals. So, and then people are constantly getting married. And when you get married, your wife makes you sell your collection. People are dying. Collection behind, and no one knows what to do with it. So, oh, just sell it to that guy for $500. Let him have the whole thing.
Exactly. So, and you know, we've all had so Mark and another one of our members, Darren, who's not here yet, or will probably show up. You know how Darren is, but they're both active comic dealers. Like, well, I run a comic book store, so I also sell my own books on the side, but I'm very careful not to interfere with the store itself. So what'll never happen, Lyle?
That could have been anything you said.
Anything I've said for the last 5 minutes. but
well,
no. So I'm excited to have you here because you can talk about some of the same kind of things we go through, and maybe you can tell us a little bit about your writing career at Marvel and how everything started with a crazy kid writing in that he hated She-Hulk.
Oh, Lyle says his wife will never make him sell his collection. That's
we gotcha.
Yeah.
We got
if you want Lyle's collection, Barry, you'll have to wait till he dies.
Yeah. Which once his wife sees that message, it might not be that long. But
you know, can I turn my phone on horizontal? Would that be better? I noticed you're all horizontal.
Sure. That'd be great.
Okay, let's see if there we go. Now I can fit in with
Yay.
There, now I look like I belong. So yeah, what was the question? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I just wanted, well, maybe you could give us a brief rundown of your career, starting with your letters to Marvel in the late 70s, early 80s, and how and why you loathed She-Hulk so much in the early days.
Sure. Well, back in those days, there was a path to getting work in comics, and one of the paths was you start off as what they call a letter hack, which means you just write a lot of letters. Every time you read a comic, you write a letter with your opinion. And back in those days, I had a lot of opinions. I find as you get older, you just tend to have less opinions about things. You just you read a comic and you shrug your shoulders and you go, yeah, whatever.
Right.
But when you're like a 13, 14, 15-year-old kid, you got opinions and you want to put them down. Of course, back in those days, there was no internet. You have to write a letter. You'd have to put your thoughts down on paper.
Physical letter. Right.
Yes.
Right.
Didn't even have a typewriter then. I would just write everything out by hand. And For whatever reason, the editors at Marvel liked some of my letters, and they used to print quite a few of them. And, back then, when I was a kid, we were all Marvel guys, me and all my friends. We never liked DC because we said, well, DC is lame because they have Superman, Supergirl, Superboy, Super Horse, Super Cat, Super Dog, Super Baby. And we said, well, that's ridiculous. We said Marvel has too much integrity. Marvel would never, ever do something like that. That's why we loved Marvel, because Spider-Man only appeared in one monthly book, and it was Spider-Man. And I think there's only one guy. He was Spider-Man, and that was it. So we liked that. And then at a certain point, Marvel found out, well, if we don't put out Spider-Woman, then anyone can put out Spider-Woman, because DC already had a Spider-Girl, apparently. So Marvel was like, well, for copyright reasons, we have to put out a Spider-Woman. So they did that. And then I can't remember the exact order, but I guess the next one, they said, well, now we should do, I remember now, Universal Studios said they wanted to do a spin-off of the Hulk TV series, and they would maybe call it She-Hulk, or just do a female version of the Hulk. But the thing is, they would own it because Marvel didn't have a She-Hulk comic book. So Marvel said, well, we better rush out a She-Hulk comic book fast. So at the very least, we can own the rights to She-Hulk.
Right.
And so they did. Stan created She-Hulk with, I guess, John Buscema, I believe, drew the first issue. And so then Marvel had a She-Hulk. And at that point, I reached my breaking point as a fan. As a loyal Marvelite from day one, I couldn't tolerate this. This was unacceptable. I said, this was the thing we made fun of DC Comics for the last however many years, 30 years, of course, even before I was born, people were saying DC is the company that does that, not Marvel. So I couldn't stand to see Marvel sacrifice its integrity by publishing first Spider-Woman and then She-Hulk. I think there were a couple of, Ms. Marvel. Famously, Ms. Marvel came first, actually. That was the first time where Marvel said, well, we need to do a female version of Captain Marvel, who was a man at that point. I think that maybe they just wanted to copyright the name Ms. Marvel. It's a good name.
Yeah.
So that was the first one, then Spider-Woman, and by the time, things come in threes sometimes. And the third thing, in comedy, the third thing is always the breaking point. I said, that's too much. I said, what can I do as a single fan all by myself? I was living at home with my family in our house. I said, I can create a fake committee to cancel the She-Hulk. And so I just made up this committee. I called myself the president. Oh, let's see. We got a Super Duck was great. Super Duck. I don't know what that is. Okay. I'm glad you liked it. Anyway. Super Duck, he's saying he likes all the DC, the Superman spinoffs. Okay.
Yeah.
There was Howard the Duck. There was no Super Duck.
Well, there was a Super Duck, but Super Duck was owned by MLJ, which was Archie, and he had no superpowers. He was just named Super Duck, and he was just kind of a Donald Duck ripoff.
Learning new things.
Well, then why was he super? There's nothing super.
He wasn't really.
Was he just a really nice duck?
He's a real kind of asshole like Donald Duck, and he had a nephew that lived with him. Can't remember his name.
Not three nephews, only one.
What?
I say not three nephews, then only one.
Yeah, only one. Yeah. They couldn't have gotten away with triplets in this case, probably. But okay, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But
no, that's great. Was the nephew? Did his name rhyme with Huey, Dewey, or Louie?
it was Kablooey. He went around blowing things up. It was really bad.
So I made up the fake committee, and I just started bombarding Marvel Comics with letters. But not all the letters were for me. The ones for me, I would sign President, Committee to Cancel the She-Hulk, and put my name in there. When you appoint yourself president, I mean, you can call yourself.
Sorry, how old were you at this stage? Were you still 14, or were you?
I was quite young. Yeah. I think She-Hulk came out, I want to say 1980, 81. Okay.
1979 or 80.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I was probably 15 or 16, but I had a lot of free time on my hands. I was not going out on dates or anything. I was just staying home writing letters all the time. So a lot of free time. So I used to write all these letters, and many of the letters I would write under fake names and sign the fake names. Sometimes I would even write a girl's name in there because I wanted to show that girls hated She-Hulk too. Horrible that everyone hated the She-Hulk so much that they should stop making She-Hulk comics. And I see we got more comments coming in. the editors of the She-Hulk comic, they thought my letters were funny, so they used to print them. Not all of them, but they printed some of them, and they got a good laugh out of it. But there was one person who didn't like my letters, and that was John Byrne.
Why not?
Well, John Byrne, at one point, he started writing and drawing Fantastic Four. I want to see, what year did he start on Fantastic Four?
In 82.
Thank
Or,
you.
no, I'm sorry, 81.
Okay. So at some point, he brought She-Hulk in as a member. Not initially, but after he was on the book for a few years, he decided to bring in She-Hulk as a member. And at this point, she had been almost out of the Marvel Universe at that point. Her comic lasted 25 issues and then was canceled. You're welcome. And I mean, I take full credit for that. Clearly, that was my doing.
Of course.
Then, hey, a 16-year-old kid could be very powerful back then.
The pen is mightier than the sword.
Yes.
At least in this case.
So she was canceled in, let's say, 81, 82. And then she didn't join Fantastic Four until like 85, 86, something like that.
Right.
So there was a good few years there where there were almost no She-Hulk appearances anywhere except for maybe a Marvel 2-in-1 and a Marvel team-up here and there. And so I was all happy with that. I was like, our work is done here. We've eliminated this character. She will not be appearing much anymore. And then John Byrne puts her in the Fantastic Four. And I was like, oh no, this is Marvel's first family. This is even worse because I was a collector. I had every issue of from 1974 on when I started buying, I had every Fantastic Four, the comic that came out, and I bought a bunch of the back issues as well. Never had number 1, unfortunately. But so now how could I keep buying Fantastic Four with She-Hulk in it? But I had to because as a completist and a collector, obviously you can't stop buying. So I had to keep
That's a
writing.
dilemma.
I had to form the committee to get She-Hulk out of the Fantastic Four.
So
So fortunately, all the members of the old committee were able to switch over to the new committee.
That's strange, that, isn't it? Yeah.
It's great
Somehow
that you guys kept in touch.
yeah, it's
Collectively,
great they were available.
we reached an agreement, we voted on it, and we all agreed this was the best idea for the group. So my goal was to get She-Hulk out of Fantastic Four because people have come and gone in that group over the years. There was a time when Luke Cage replaced the Thing temporarily for a few issues. Crystal came in and replaced Invisible Woman for a little while when Sue went off.
And Thundra.
Thunder was in there. Yeah, there were lots of people
Yeah.
who went. And so I figured, okay, well, maybe She-Hulk would just be one who'll just come and go. But no, she stayed a long time. She was in for years. And I just had to keep writing letters. That was just making more work for me. I don't know if John Byrne had no idea. But Byrne was annoyed. I think that's probably the best word. He was annoyed at my letters to Fantastic Four. Writing on behalf of this fake committee, constantly bitching and moaning. Can I say that on your show? I'm sorry. I don't know what the language is.
Yes, of course you can.
Okay.
Sure.
Just whining about She-Hulk constantly. He was just, Byrne was fed up. So you can imagine that. One day when they came out with an issue of Fantastic Four where the cover featured only She-Hulk, none of the other members of the team. And as a longtime She-Hulk hater, but a longtime FF collector, that put me in a very uncomfortable position because I had to buy the issue, but essentially I'm buying a She-Hulk comic at this point. But when I read the issue and I found out that the villain who tortures and abuses She-Hulk for the entire issue, his name was Dada. And the story ends with She-Hulk overcoming the villain and punching him out. And when she punches him out, she clearly says, Dada, shut up. And that's character. And obviously it was meant to be you can call it what you will, a tribute to me.
It was a tribute. Yes, that's
Did you have
that's
an
a nice
honor.
way to say it.
Did you have a letter? Did you have a letter on the letters page in that issue?
Oh, that's a great question. I would have to check that. I had many letters printed in that series, but I don't remember that one. I'd have to double check that.
Now, were you already at Marvel at that point?
No. That was probably 86, 87. I came to Marvel like late, maybe 89 or very early 1990. Probably, let's say. So still a few years away. When I was hired at Marvel, I was hired by Jim Salicrup, who was one of the people who had seen all my letters over the years. And I started writing for Marvel Age magazine at that point. I just started submitting work to them because I was writing for all the fan magazines at that point. Believe it or not, I actually was able to write a lot of articles that weren't about hating the She-Hulk. That was just that was kind of my side hustle.
It's a good primer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was writing for Comic Buyer's Guide, Amazing Heroes, Comics Scene, Comics Interviews, so all the comic fanzines. And then when Marvel had their own fanzine, which was Marvel Age, I basically submitted my work to them, and Jim Salercup hired me as an a freelance writer. And then one day when the editor of Marvel Age left, he left his position to go work in a different position at Marvel. Suddenly there was an opening. There was suddenly no assistant editor for Marvel Age magazine. And I called the office one day looking for work, writing work. And I spoke to Jim, and I said, hey, Jim, is Dwight there, who was the editor I was working with at the time? He said, no, Dwight's not here. He's in a different department now. And I said, oh, well, maybe you could transfer me to his department. And Jim said, well, no, Dwight doesn't work for this magazine anymore. But I had gone up one time. Dwight was kind enough to give me a tour of the Marvel offices, which I lived in New Jersey at the time, which is, maybe a 30, 40-minute train ride away from New York City, where Marvel, in Manhattan, where Marvel was. So I did get to meet a bunch of the people who worked at Marvel. And, when you're 19, 20-year-old fan, it was the thrill of a lifetime to get to actually meet, go up to the Marvel offices and meet all the people. But anyway, Jim remembered me. So on that phone call, he said, well, Dwight's not here anyway. He said, well, what do you do when you're not writing for comics? And at the time I was working as a bartender at a restaurant. And he said, well, are you interested in maybe being the associate editor of Marvel Age magazine? And I said, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Promptly quit my bartending job and went right to work for Marvel. There was a job never had a meet with anyone or screen with anyone or anything like that. It was just
awesome.
Yes, you're hired.
That's great.
Fantastic.
And
Yeah.
what were some of the first comics you wrote after joining Marvel?
Sure. Well, once I joined staff, and that's back then, it was the best way to get work at Marvel was to be on staff. These days, they've kind of gone in a different direction. But back then, you would just make friends with all the editors, and if they liked you, they would hire you, which was great if you were on staff and horrible if you weren't on staff. But Marvel had a comic at the time called What the humor comic.
Yeah.
And my stuff tends to gravitate toward the funny stuff. That seems to be the stuff that I had the most fun writing. And it just came easier to me. For some reason, I always kind of struggled with the basic Marvel formula of, okay, you've got Magneto and you've got the X-Men and they want to fight each other. But what's the story? How is that? Where's the story? And I always kind of struggled with coming up with stories for straight superhero stuff. But when it came to the funny stuff, it was always, oh, yeah, what would happen is this would happen, this guy wants this and he wants this and then this happens, and it all seemed to flow logically for me. So I wrote, first story I wrote was the DC Comics had just done the death of Robin over in in the Batman titles.
Oh yeah.
Right.
So I thought, well, let's bring back Bucky and have a Captain America story. We'll just do Death of Bucky, where we have a phone line you can call in to vote if Bucky gets killed or not again. And so I sold that story to actually I brought it in to Terry Cavanaugh, who was the editor of What at the time. I walked into his office. I wrote the full story out. Yeah, because it's with humor. I think you want to put all the jokes in ahead of time just to let people see. Oh, I get what he's going for here.
Yeah.
I think to just write a plot and say it's going to be really funny, trust me, I think that doesn't really work. So full script. I walked into Terry's office and I said, hey Terry, I've got a story here for What you might want to take a look at it. And Terry said, well, we're pretty much fully booked. We don't really need any stories at this time, but I'll take a look at it. And a few minutes later, he walked back toward my office and he knocked on my door and he said, you just made a sale.
Hey,
That's awesome.
great stuff, man.
Yeah, it was quite an honor, really.
So
That
Barry,
is really
Yeah,
cool.
Barry,
that's fantastic.
did you ever do a what if She-Hulk had never existed, being as you hated her so much? Surprised you didn't do a story
That's a
like
great
that.
idea, actually.
It's a good question. I'm not sure how that's a story. Humor issues. Do a
No,
one
but she
thing.
could be from another universe.
No.
Not the one that you wanted to be.
If She-Hulk
What in
had
the
never,
universe you hated her in?
if She-Hulk had never existed, Barry would never have got a job.
yeah. It should be more about Barry.
Yes, so you could have done that story.
Yeah.
Like Lex Luthor.
She-Hulk needed a foil, and that was you.
Exactly. That's so great. Now has Dutta ever made a second appearance?
No, and that's a great question, and that's my one regret because I wasn't a writer for Marvel for a few years there, and I did pitch a She-Hulk story once where I wanted to do a story where a villain created a copy of the She-Hulk, And the whole point of the story at the end, She-Hulk beats up the copy and says, "This, you can never beat a true original. As the She-Hulk, I am the true original." And the joke being, well, she's just a copy of the Hulk. So that was my joke.
Right.
But that story,
Mm-hmm.
what I should have pitched was a story called Dutta Returns. That should have been the story.
I would have loved that.
Oh,
That would
yeah.
have been fantastic.
And it wasn't until
Yeah.
many years later that I even thought about it, because there started to be this little, when I started selling comics for a living, and I would always call out that issue of Fantastic Four saying that's a key issue. It's a major first appearance. Yeah, as a joke, of course. I'm just kidding. But I would tell people, first, and I would sign it for them, first appearance of Dutta. And there sort of became this sort of groundswell years later of, hey, what about this character? Why wasn't there more of this character? Now I look at that now and I go, yeah, why wasn't there more?
And he
Not
could
too
easily
late, right?
team up. He could easily team up with other like celestial villains. He could even serve Galactus, for crying out loud.
You're right. He really could. He's from the Microverse. I don't know if you remember his story at all, but he lives.
Right. I totally blacked out on the Microverse, but still, it's still Quantum Mania kind of made that part of the MCU canon, so he could easily be, in one of the MCU movies. You could have Dutta. I think that'd be great.
That seems unlikely, but you never know what can happen. When they did the She-Hulk TV series, my running joke was there can be no She-Hulk TV series without Dutta. That was like the joke I had.
Well,
somehow they do it.
Someone that was adjacent to the writing crew told me that Dutta did come up, but they couldn't work in anything celestial in the sci-fi star kind of part of Marvel. So that's why Dutta didn't make the cut. But Dutta would have been a much better conclusion than Kevin, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
that Kevin robot thing, AI that was supposed to be Kevin Feige.
Right.
That was a horrible ending to what was a pretty good miniseries, but
I felt they were leaning in toward of a Dutta direction in the final episode of She-Hulk when she confronts those guys that club.
I thought so too. I thought you would have a Dutta because he's definitely an incel. Like the rest of the antagonists. So yeah, I actually thought we might get a Dutta, but we did not.
I didn't get a call for a cameo in that final episode. That was very.
We got a dud, not a Dutta.
Bastards.
Well,
it's not too late. I mean, you could pitch them now, right? I mean, why not?
Well, She-Hulk is back in on the actress Tatiana. Can't think of her last name. She's in the Avengers movie now. She was out. Now she's back in.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So she is still alive. There has been talk, and there's been a workup of a second season of She-Hulk, but it's never really happened yet. So we'll see what happens.
Well, let's state for the record, there can be no second season of She-Hulk without Dutta. I just need to put that out.
No, I agree.
Scratch the set, Barry.
In fact, I think he should be the Purple Man. The Purple Man, which was in the entire season 1 of Jessica Jones. He should be the Purple Man in every episode of season 2. So,
you got to show up in costume. Figure out where they're shooting.
That's right. That's
Barry,
right. We got to get Dutta now.
You need to be like, I'm ready with all those members of the She-Hulk club and get them to bombard.
That's right. Yeah.
Having Feige with I suppose
maybe even create a few new members.
Yeah, you need to team up with some Russian hackers and create a bunch of She-Hulk hater bots and just storm them.
You could make AI actually be worth it for what?
Or why can't I be on the She-Hulk TV show as well? Why not? Right?
I feel like
think you should be
perfect Dutta. It would be with Dutta as Dutta. I mean, come on.
Well, yeah,
that's almost as epic as with Zulu as Kono on Hawaii 5-0. So
I mean, you've been a decades-long thorn in She-Hulk's side. I think it's only appropriate that you be there now
Me too.
for
Me
a
too.
major sort of final confrontation, or at least final for now.
The final
you know.
conflict.
Yeah,
I'm her
yeah,
Lex.
yeah.
Oh, bring it on.
So Barry,
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're no longer with Marvel.
No longer with the organization, although they still reprint my work sometimes.
Okay.
It was about a year ago. They did a collection of all my Spider-Ham stories in one book.
Oh, right, okay.
Now, did you co-create Peter Porker?
That's a great question. No, the character I created is this guy right here. This is Spider-Ham 2099.
Oh, that's great.
And he's obviously the future version of Peter Porker. So, a couple years ago, they did a movie called Into the Spider-Verse, whatever it was called.
Yeah.
Right.
They featured every spider character that had ever been created, except for one character. One character.
What the?
I think it's John Byrne in the background saying, not having anything by that guy.
Well, maybe there's another.
Well, Tatiana Mosley was also saying that. She-Hulk herself. I'm kidding. But
maybe Tatiana is plotting against me.
She is. That would be hilarious. You know what would be hilarious is if we could get her and you and do a short film about how she hates you because she got into the She-Hulk comic because of the character, and now she's making it her whole thing to crush Dada. I would love that.
And then she realized she can't live without me in her life.
Right.
That's
exactly.
right. It's balance in the force. You gotta have. There's no yin without the yang.
Exactly.
Well, I've got some work to do after we finish this chat.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Well, so tell us how you got involved with Spider-Ham and how Spider-Ham 2099 came about.
Sure. When I started writing more stories for What The, and I would write a variety of different things, whatever seemed funny to me at the time. And at some point, I noticed that nobody was doing anything with Spider-Ham at that time. He didn't have any ongoing appearances anywhere. So I thought to myself, well, why don't I just keep writing Spider-Ham stories and putting them in What The? And well, I couldn't put them in myself. I would suggest to the editor, who was initially, who was that? Terry Cavanaugh. Yeah, initially, and
Terry Cavanaugh. Yeah.
Then Renee took over after him, and she was receptive to my ideas as well. And so I would keep pitching Spider-Ham stories, and they kept buying them. So I was like, and looking back now, it almost makes sense. Marvel actually should, if you're going to do a humor comic about superheroes, why not have Spider-Ham as the lead feature in every single issue? That just seems like almost a no-brainer now. But this is in the days before he was a movie star, Spider-Ham.
Right.
But nobody was doing anything with this character. So I said, all right, so I'll start writing him. And my goal was, I said, I want to be so associated with this character that in the future, anytime anybody does anything with this character, they will at least think to contact me to call me first and say, hey, would you be interested in whatever we're doing with this character? But that didn't work out as planned. You can't always predict the future, but I did get to write a bunch of Spider-Ham stories. And then when Marvel came out with Spider-Man 2099, and I don't even remember writing this story, but it just seemed like a no-brainer. Well, yeah, why not do Spider-Ham 2099? And that's the craziest part about when you're writing comics, or a lot of comics. Sometimes you look back years later and you go, I don't remember writing this. I mean, it has my name, and it seems like something I would have written, but I have no idea how I even came up with it. But I liked the Spider-Man 2099 comics, so that they were fun. So I said, it seems like a natural just to do this. The artist was John Costanza. He primarily worked as a letterer for Marvel, but he was quite talented.
He did a lot of kids work, didn't he? A lot of kids comics and the like, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean,
he was an active artist at the same time he was a letterer, and he did an awful lot of stuff for Archie, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah.
But he's a great guy, and he came up with the visual for that character. And then I have another one here. When it came time, a few months later, Marvel was doing one of their big Infinity crossovers, and I'm friends with Scott Lobdell, and Scott came to me one day and said, why don't we pitch an issue of What The, where all the Marvel funny characters cross over and do like 4 stories in one issue, but each and he came to me and said he would write there would be a Forbush Man story. There'd be two characters called Milk and Cookies. There was a female character called Wolverina, who was Wolverina. She was the girl Wolverine at the time. And then my friend said to me, "Why don't you write the Spider-Ham story?" And I was like, "Wow, it's actually happening. I'm being approached by people who think of me as the Spider-Ham guy."
Right. That's wonderful.
So, but because it was the Infinity War that we were spoofing, and this is this issue where we spoofed the Infinity War. It's what the number 20. And so I had to introduce an evil version of Spider-Man because that's the Infinity War. Every hero fought a doppelganger, an evil doppelganger of himself.
Oh, wow.
yeah.
So I said, well, let's do Venom. So I created this character who is Pork Grind was his name.
I love that.
Should have called him Venom. I realize that now, and all these years later, it's too late now. But so I created the evil version of the funny animal version of Venom. And again, John Costanza designed the character, and he made him like a warthog almost.
Yeah,
That's great. That's
great,
wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, I think my only instructions were he should just be bigger and stronger looking than Spider-Man because Venom is traditionally more muscular than Spider-Man.
Right.
And he did such a great job. It's almost like a Pup Pluto kind of a thing there.
Yeah.
And so now, many years later, people have actually, and yes, even Marvel has created action figures of these two characters.
that's awesome.
That's fantastic.
Well, the Pork
Do you
Grind,
have them?
I don't, but I really should get them because
You really should.
You really should.
I mean, inevitably somebody would have created this character because how could you not? There are funny animal versions of
It wouldn't have that name though, and the name. I think the name is fantastic.
Well, thank you. I kind of like it, but I still I've had people come up to you and be like, "Oh, how come he's not Venham?" I'm like, I didn't think of it. I'm sorry.
Well, no, but pork grind is a play on pork rind, I'm sure.
Of course.
But grind is what he always did to Spider-Man as Venom. So I love that name.
I mean, it's good. I like it.
It's fine.
I thought I had is like, what about like venison? I mean, that could be cool too.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What was that?
Venison.
What
would
about
have
venison?
To be a deer.
Well, it'd be a deer, but it's sort of a play on the word. I don't know.
Of course, him as a deer.
I'm just riffing.
A deer version of Venom? Why not? That works too.
It's just a little closer in the word venison, venom, but whatever.
Yeah. No, I like
Could
that
be fun.
too.
So Barry, so you know, Derek was head writer on SpongeBob for a number.
Well,
of
I
seasons.
wasn't head writer. That's not.
You weren't?
I'm not gonna take the title inflation. No, I was never head writer.
Okay,
Thank
you.
you.
Were one of the main writers.
Well, I was the staff writer. I was the staff writer on
Yeah,
SpongeBob
staff
from
writer.
season 6 through 9. Yeah.
Fantastic. Are you based in LA?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. Yep. I'm in the Valley. Yep. Yeah, I'm a SoCal guy like you.
Must have been a great experience for you working on SpongeBob.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was fantastic. I actually worked my way up. I was a production guy on the show and just kind of slowly crawled my way up the food chain and pitched ideas to them until finally they said, "All right, get in here." And then I got to write 50 some odd episodes.
Wow.
So yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah, it was a treat. Yeah. It's funny. You were saying like there's certain comics that you were like, I don't really remember that story. Same thing with me and some SpongeBob episodes where I'm like, oh yeah, I guess my name's on that, but geez, I don't know what the hell that one was about. I can look back on it now and it's almost like fresh. It's like, oh well, this is sort of something past me is given to present me, and now I can look at it with fresh eyes because I barely remember the damn thing.
You were probably writing at least one a week, no?
Yeah, give or take. I mean, it's very collaborative. So you're working with other people and you're handing off an outline. At that time, we were a storyboard-driven show, so my end product was actually an outline, and then I would hand that off to a storyboard team, and the storyboard team would take that and run with it. So it was really a very collaborative kind of effort because they could do a lot of changes to that outline. Sometimes they would follow it to the letter, and other times it would be a jumping off point to the story that they really wanted to tell with it. And I was always fine with that as long as they didn't make it worse, or they didn't create a problem that I didn't give them. Like if you maneuver yourself into a story cul-de-sac that I didn't give you, that's your problem. But
we just momentarily went into the multiverse with the Earth 569 version of Mark showing up.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah, what was that?
Damn it, I've given it away.
There are two of them apparently.
Yeah.
My mate, Spider-Ham in 2099 was responsible.
there's Mark
Oh, okay.
2099, but you look pretty
Yeah.
good for your age in 2099.
Yeah. That was actually a future robotic version of you that
Yeah,
came
AI.
back
It was
Correct.
totally
and
AI.
just sort of blinked in and out of existence, and then it was gone.
Correct.
You know, it's funny when Marvel created the 2099 universe, their thought was, let's make it so far in the future that none of us will ever even be around to see that date. That's so far ahead of. But if you think about it, it's getting closer all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, true that none of us will see it, most likely. Well, yeah, we'll probably be gone by then. But
Right.
it doesn't
Sure.
seem as far away now as it did when they created it in the early 1990s.
And
Right.
considering how little it's worth, all the series are worth now for the most part, I say this running a comic book store, but they might still be very affordable in the actual 2099. So people might actually pick up these 100-year-old comics, say, what were they thinking?
That's true.
Hopefully there'll be people in 2099.
Oh, we lost Bill.
Sorry.
There he is.
Am I back? Okay.
Yeah. Now you're blinking in and out of existence.
Well, no, what happened is that my one employee who runs the store on Wednesdays is trying to get a hold of me, and every time, and I'm not worried about it. Can't be anything really bad. So when he does, it drops me out of the podcast until I come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's the worst thing that can happen at a comic store, Bill?
I know.
That's never a good question to ask.
Texas.
Yeah, I'm in Texas. Everybody has a gun, right?
Yeah.
But,
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I
dear.
forgot that. Forget the question. I can imagine the worst thing that can happen.
Yeah. You're
Right.
asking what's the worst that could happen, and you got at least 2 writers on the call. So
right. You've got 3
yeah,
writers.
if you want us to dream
actually
up the
on
worst,
call.
oh baby.
Fire and water damage. Thank you, Lyle. Thank you for making me feel very comfortable now. Not.
Yeah,
But-
so that call, Bill, was your assistant going, oh, the pipes are just blown open and there's water flooding everywhere.
Oh my God! We have a
Lord.
leak on the warehouse side where we have the 7 pallets of comics, but we have all the comics
Best
strategically.
place for them, isn't it? Really, yeah. Just where there's a leak. Great.
Yeah, we have them all under the leaks. No, we have them all out, away from the leaks. But no, it's like, yeah, it's a very old building. Yeah, the burst pipes could be part of it. He hasn't called back immediately when I denied the call, so I'm guessing it's nothing catastrophic. But again,
Probably
that's
not.
just a wild ass
This-
guess on my part.
You probably got an
This
AF-15 you didn't know in there, and he's asking how much should I sell it for. So he's probably selling it now for $50.
Yeah, probably with
This-
my luck, and then I'll
this
get
call-
blamed for it. Yeah,
This
no,
calls to mind
that's-
there's a great exchange in an episode of Futurama where there's that arrogant captain. I can't remember his name. You guys maybe you remember if you were a Futurama fan.
the one that used to be voiced by guy who got killed by his wife. Why
Was it
can't I
Harry
think of his-
Shearer?
No, it's me. What's the guy? Not me, but I was trying to do the voice. Guy from
He's like
Saturday
the-
Night Live.
Yeah, he was on Saturday Night Live. He was like the super arrogant captain, and he had this
Right.
just like
Well,
this constantly put
Leela,
upon
I do
like-
own this
like
planet.
sad
Yeah.
alien assistant, and his alien assistant comes up to him and he goes, "Sir, we've got to do something. It's an emergency." And he goes, "Call me when it's a catastrophe."
That's funny. That's funny. So Barry, I have to tell you this. The best thing about running a comic store, and I bet you could probably answer this, but the best thing about running a comic store is not owning the comic store. And I'm sure you've thought at some time about running a comic store, maybe, but isn't it better to do it the way you're doing?
Absolutely. I've never thought of running a comic book store because honestly, it seems like too much work. like you have to get that. Well, back in the day, you would get the Diamond catalog every month, and you'd have to look through that 250-page catalog and order all the comics for your store. And you'd have to figure out, well, how many can I sell of each comic? And I don't want to run out, but I don't want to order too many. It just seemed like so much work.
Right. And it is.
But also, I don't like the idea of having to be in a certain place at a certain time. Like, oh, well, my store's open from 10 to 6 every day, so I have to be there for that. With what I do, I have flexibility. If I don't want to work one day, I can just go take off. I can go on vacation. I can go to the beach. You know, if I want to work extra hours, I can work extra hours. You know, it's flexible. I like working in flex time. That's
great. That's wonderful. Yeah, and you actually live close to the beach, don't you?
Yes and no. It's, let's say 30, 40 minutes. So, you know, in Los Angeles, traffic can be problematic. So you never know how long it's going to take to get there. But, you know, there's hiking trails, and if my friends call me up and want to play pickleball, I just go play pickleball for a few hours. So I like that.
Hey, there you go.
And that goes back when I was in high school. My only goal, if you look at my high school yearbook, it's under career path or whatever, it says future writer for Marvel Comics. That's on my high school yearbook in 1983.
How about that?
That's crazy.
You knew where you wanted to go.
It was the only job I ever wanted. And, you know, I got to live the dream. It didn't last forever, but, you know, in the mid to late 90s, actually, no, mid 1990s, I was writing for Marvel at the time. I was doing a couple of monthly books. I had Ren and Stimpy. I was doing Power Rangers. I was doing a little bit of Beavis and Butthead, not too much, just like a couple pages in each one. But I was doing a decent amount to make it a good living. And I woke up one day and all my books were canceled, and me and suddenly hundreds of other writers and artists suddenly found ourselves no longer in the comic book industry.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what did you do then?
Sorry, man.
Well, at that point, I mean, I had collected comics since 1974. So, of course, I had the first appearance of Wolverine, which I bought for $0.25. First appearance of the X-Men, 25 cents. I got that for first, giant size X-Men 1, of course, was 50 cents. So I had all these comics that I'd collected for many years. And when you work on staff for Marvel, you get every Marvel and DC comic free every week. So I had all those comics pretty much saved up. So I just started selling my collection because it's, at that point, I didn't need it anymore. It was taking up space and I wasn't really looking at it that much anymore. And so as a quick side note, you mentioned your comics being stored in possibly a place with a leaky roof. I used to keep my comics in the attic of my house where I grew up in. And we had a leaky roof in the attic. And I never thought to bag and board my comics because I was just a kid. So my copies of Hulk 181, Giant Size X-Men 1, and X-Men 94 were all slowly, there was a leak. The leak happened to be
Oh, no.
They were all completely ruined by water damage.
Oh, man, no.
So those were the books that were going to, pay for my, my retirement.
Now you've probably found copies of those in your days of searching. Right.
I've come across them again, but I do not have a comic book collection anymore. I started selling my collection. When when eBay was invented, I think it was 2003. I was like, oh, I've got a bunch of stuff piling up around the house. Maybe I'll try out this eBay thing and see what that's like. And back in those days, eBay fees were a lot lower and you didn't have to pay taxes on eBay sales. So it was a great time to sell anything on eBay.
Right.
So I decided I would start selling all the stuff from my collection that I couldn't live without. You sort of have your keepers, your ones that you can never get rid of, and then you have everything.
Let me guess. Was it all the She-Hulk ones that went first?
Of course.
Did you even have the She-Hulk run?
No, but I probably had issue number 1 because it was a first appearance. I probably kept to that one longer than I should have. The collection.
I really want you to sign my She-Hulk one now. I have to say. I always have ever since we've been friends on Facebook, but now I really do. So
send it my way. I'll be happy to sign it for you.
Thank you, buddy.
I have a copy of Dada's first appearance. I'll sign that too.
I think I'm pretty sure I have that run. Yeah. I think I have several copies of that at the store too, and I need to just pull those. But let's go a little forward. So you did more. So the one area we haven't really talked about is the time you were serving as a main writer for what a lot of them never even got published, but most of the work got done on them, if I'm not mistaken. And that's the Rock Comics brand that Marvel had for a few years. And you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So at one point, Mort Todd got hired on staff. He's a guy, his actual name, Michael Defemine, I'm sorry. But he preferred to be called Mort Todd, which is the German word for death and the French word for death. So his name was that literally death.
Or dead.
Heavy.
Well, you take your pick, right?
Wow. Don't mess with that guy.
Yeah.
Well, he's no longer with us, so
we
Oh,
just
all
lost
right.
him,
Well, I guess his name finally
four,
caught up with him.
really
4 months ago. Yeah, he really great guy, and he and Barry were very close friends. Keep going, Barry. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
So he came aboard and he was instantly cracking jokes all the time. And at first, like with some people, it just takes you a little while to get their humor. And at first, I was kind of like, oh, this guy's always making these jokes, but he's not really that funny. But then I was like, oh no, he is funny. It was just I had a weird aversion to him, but we hit it off very well eventually, and we got along great. And every week you've come in to me and say, oh, we're doing a comic book about these country western singers, Brooks and Dunn. Do you want to write it? And now I have no idea who these people are. I don't like country music. I don't follow these performers, but I'm never going to turn down any offer to write anything for Marvel Comics. So I said, sure, I'll write it. And so I wrote that. It was completely drawn by an artist named Gray Morrow.
Gray was fantastic. He was one of the greatest comic artists of all time, and he's a great animation artist too.
And he somewhere actually released all his artwork. The comic was never published, but all of his artwork can be found online for that comic. I think most of it's online. I'll send you a link if I can find it. But so that was like a 64-page graphic, or maybe it was 48-page. But either way, it was like the biggest paycheck I ever got from Marvel for one comic book. So even though it was never published, because I think Marvel had big plans with the rock and roll line. They started with Alice Cooper. I believe they did the Rolling Stones after that. And the idea was we're going to sign up everybody. We're going to do rap, hip hop, country music, whoever, Madonna, whoever they can think of. They would just call it rock. But even if it wasn't, you know how it goes with the whole thing.
Sure.
It's not a. And he kept once a week. Mort would come to me and say, "Hey, we're doing a comic of this band Slaughter. Do you want to write it?" And I'm like, "Well, I know one of their songs. Sure, okay." That one never got past the concept stage. There were others which I can't remember now. This is going back 30 years. But
I'll tell you one. I'll tell you one that got made, and that was Billy Ray Cyrus.
Okay.
And that I have no idea why they did a Billy Ray Cyrus comic book, but
I think
that
they
did
out to different management. And management probably started pitching, well, you should do one of this guy and that guy.
Right. And of course, the one song that everybody knows of Brooks and Dunn is Boot Scootin' Boogie, which was their really big hit.
But everybody? I don't remember that one.
Everyone except for Derek. But
everyone except for me.
Derek's the
I deliberately avoided it. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're also a lot younger than us, so you might have just missed it.
I don't know that I'm flattered, but I don't think that's true. But okay.
Okay.
I noticed you didn't say that to me, Bill.
What? Well, no, of course not. You're older than I am. So is Terry. And
thanks for bringing that up, Bill. Cheers.
And our new friend Barry is even younger than me. So I'm very, very glad about that. By the way, but. Yeah, and yes, cheers. We always do a cheers on the show, Barry.
We've got a couple of questions for
cheers.
You here, Barry.
Oh, wait. Yes, there's the good side.
One question asked: are you no longer collecting comics?
I don't collect comics anymore, but I probably buy more comics than most people who collect comics. How does that sound?
Okay, so you're buying to sell.
Yes, I'm strictly a flipper these days. I was going to say, when I started selling my collection, I said I'm only going to keep the important stuff, but it was almost like turning on a faucet. Once you've turned on the faucet, you might as well just let it all go. All. Like little by little, I started thinking, well, the things that I said I can't live without, I found, well, I haven't looked at this book in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. I found I could live without all of them, actually. So other than the stuff that I wrote, I pretty much sold everything. And now I buy other people's collections and flip their collections.
Yeah,
that's excellent.
Which some people, you don't really want to. It's kind of funny when you go to buy someone's collection. very often they've decided in their minds that I'm not a reseller, although we've never discussed it. They've decided, and they'll say something like, "I'm just glad my comics are going to a good home."
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you're
Well,
just
let's
like,
hope they do. Let's hope
I'm
they
not
do.
going to say anything.
Yes, they're all going to good homes.
Yeah,
Oh,
as far as
Sure.
we know, if
Yeah,
they're willing to pay
somewhere.
this much for it, they're going to take care of
Probably.
it. So, yeah, I don't think anyone's burning them.
Yeah, no, if they're going to pay me a lot of money for them, they're probably going to a good home.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So
I do tell them, I say, well, I don't know how good the home is, but they're going.
So how do you find the comics to buy? Is it word of mouth? Do people know that you're in the market for buying collections? And
That's part of it, yes.
Craigslist is your friend, isn't it?
Yes, I search Craigslist daily.
Okay.
And there's other sources too. There's Facebook Marketplace, and there's different apps you can use on your phone to look for comics too. So I'm just constantly looking. And the LA area is incredibly competitive because there are so many people, so many collectors, and so many resellers. And we know each other. We're all kind of friendly with each other, but we're also in competition with each other. So it's this,
Interesting, yeah.
Would never.
So if there's I've heard about these yard sales, fist fights. Where
Dear God.
Somebody says, "Oh, I've got a yard sale coming up. Everything's a $1, and I've got 5 boxes of old comics."
Mm-hmm.
And at 9 o'clock when the thing starts, there's 5 comic flippers ready to pounce.
Yes, I've never gotten in one of those fist fights. I came close one time. I wasn't looking to throw punches, but it felt like a guy was getting ready to throw some punches my way. But the seller came. It was kind of interesting. I arrived at a sale one time when the seller is sometimes one by one they're loading the boxes into their driveway, the boxes of comic books that they're looking to sell. And as I'm standing there, another man, a reseller, is standing next to me, and he says, "Well, I've already all the comics are mine. I've already arranged with the seller that all the comics are going to me." And I said, "Oh, that's disappointing." And then the seller came out and said, "No, I never made that arrangement with him. That never happened."
Worth a try.
That's hilarious.
The seller started getting in my face. Well, I was here first. All the comics are going to me. And I was like, and then the seller ran up and was like, no, break it up. Don't fight, everyone. Don't fight.
That's hilarious.
Wow.
They already belong to me, and he hadn't even bought them. That's hilarious. Oh my God.
I was ready to get in my car and leave. I said, I guess it's too late for me.
This is getting intense. There's going to be like comic book gangs.
How much did you walk away with from that collection?
It actually worked out okay. The person who was at first very antagonistic, he sort of backed off and suddenly became much more, I guess you could say, reasonable at that point. He was like, "Oh, well," he goes, "I guess we can both look at the comics."
I guess so.
Since you really have
Not the one
no way
selling
to
them.
say that in the first place, that's hilarious.
I appreciated his willingness to share the collection. Very kind.
Willingness to share someone else's collection.
Someone else's collection, exactly.
How generous.
Very kind.
Yeah.
Some people, I tells you.
So I go out basically every Saturday morning in LA. There's a comic book sale somewhere. It's either a garage sale or a store having a parking lot sale or a flea market or something. There's somewhere every Saturday morning in LA. There's somewhere you can go to buy comics because the weather pretty much year round is at least 50 weeks a year. You can have an outdoor sale in Los Angeles.
That's true.
So do you sell through Whatnot?
I don't actually. I explored it briefly, but I just like selling on Facebook so much, and I have a following, and I just sort of like the way Facebook runs. Facebook doesn't take a commission on anything ever. And I believe Whatnot, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Whatnot does take a commission.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So I just find it's easier for me. And back when Whatnot first started, buyers were not allowed to build a box. You had to, I guess, you didn't get paid until the buyer received the item. I think that's initially how they were doing it. I think they've made some updates since then. But anyway, I just didn't like some things about how they work.
Their policies.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think they've improved since then. I think if you get, certified as a Whatnot seller, then you can allow buyers to build.
I sell on Whatnot, and my cash is available almost immediately.
Well, that's great. That's
as soon as I've printed off the postage labels, the cash is there, and it transfers to my account in a day.
That's
And-
great.
And do you find buyers like to build boxes with you, or is that not an option on what that?
I don't give them that option.
Oh, I see. Okay.
They just, they can, but whatever they buy in the show, I'll bundle up, and if they buy a box worth, great. But I don't run it from one show to another.
And then what do you do? A show like once a week or something like that?
Yeah, I do one show a week. Yeah.
That's great. Fantastic. Most of my buyers prefer to fill a box, and I use the here in the States we have what's called a medium flat rate box, which holds about 50 comics or so.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And so
That's a great feature that you have. That I'm sure that gets you a lot of bigger sales.
What happens is people wind up overpaying for some books because they say, well, at least I didn't have to order it separately and pay shipping separately from a different seller.
Right.
Prestige auctions, and I'm just reading the little comment there.
Well, the only person who's in striking distance of Grimsby from the Geeky Weeklies is Steve and Darren, probably. Darren's not far from Grimsby. I have
no idea where any of this
I don't think you guys in LA are going to be making your way to Grimsby.
I don't think so.
Only if you have
They're
flight
great
miles.
fish in Grimsby as well, don't they, Mark?
Barry and I are gonna take a junket over to Grimsby for the weekend, and
Colin's in Hull. Yeah, Colin. Colin can get to Grimsby.
oh, good, go Colin, go.
You can go and let us know how it goes, Colin.
Hey, it's in the UK. No, I know. I realize that, Lyle. I was joking, actually.
I mean, it's as soon as you hear the word Grimsby, you already know where it is, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, no,
it is
there's
exactly
actually,
like,
if I'm not mistaken, and someone needs to look it up, but if I'm not mistaken, there is a Grimsby, Texas. Well, there's an every name you can come up with.
If you Google it, there'll definitely be.
Is that how big Texas is?
Texas is huge.
Yeah,
Texas,
it was a rhetorical question.
Yes, it really is. Well, but from the furthest point to the furthest point, Texas is 1,375 miles. It's. I mean, that's at the biggest apex. But I'm just saying, we're a very large state, and you can fit 23 of the smaller states within Texas.
Yes, we know Texas is a big state. They can't stop going on about it.
Bill,
Yeah, well, that's about as
Grimsby,
Texan as
Illinois.
I get, probably. But I have to agree with that.
Bill,
Grimsby, Illinois. I just looked it.
Grimsby in Illinois.
Yes.
Grimsby, Illinois.
Just looked it up.
Let's all go to Grimsby, Illinois.
Yeah, we'll be in the wrong Grimsby for
I'm actually
no good
going
reason.
to Chicago kind of soon. I need to find out if Grimsby
I
is
wonder if
anywhere
they've got
near
as nice fish as Grimsby in UK does, though.
Grimsby, UK.
Yeah.
That sounds like the name of a punk band, Grimsby, UK. I don't know.
yeah. I mean,
They used to open for the Clash.
It is
I'm
extremely well
I
named. I went there once, and the word "grim" is very appropriate.
Oh, real? And they have a Ben Grimsby Day every year where everyone dresses up like the Thing. So
I think
I'm
the fish
just
and chips are
saying.
probably quite good in Grimsby, UK. I don't know what they'll do. They do fish and chips, and in Grimsby, Illinois, probably not.
And there's a Grimsby in Ontario, Canada. Someone
Yes,
just
that's
said?
true.
I think the Damned had a song about it. Grimsby Fiendish.
You can always tell the guy who worked on SpongeBob because he's extremely good or bad, whichever way you take it with puns.
Grimly
It's a bad habit.
Came a long time before SpongeBob.
Right. Well, I
Grimly Fiendish must be older than you, Bill.
says a guy who's older than me.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks a lot.
It does sound
Thanks a
like
lot.
there ought to be a goth band just called Grimsby. I think that would be
I
appropriate.
like that. I like that a lot. Well, so Barry, do you do any writing anymore for any of the fan magazines or anything? Because you were a really great writer. I enjoyed your work.
Well, thank you. I did have a new comic book come out this year, which was a lot of fun.
Cool.
There was a publisher. Excuse me for 1 second. I'll go get it. Right second.
Sure,
Yeah,
go right
right
ahead,
on.
man. Let's plug away.
Sure. There's a company.
Oh, I'm going to have to show this comment. Stephen, I sent Stephen some books by my daughter. And he's telling me they're wonderful. Good. Thank you, Stephen.
Brilliant.
Okay. There's a company called Big Dog Inc. And they do these comic books. I think they what do they call that when you finance it through
Kickstarter.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
So
Mark,
they did
there's something in
comic-
private chat. Do you want to read it?
2014.
Yeah, this is Big Dog Inc. 14. They do an anthology.
What?
This is the variant cover, which is kind of funny because when I worked at Marvel, I did a comic with Stan Lee. It was called Night. And this comic is an homage to the Nightcat comic book cover. And I wrote this.
Oh, cool.
Her name is Blue Jay.
Can you make
Oh,
it
that's
big?
great.
You make him
So
big, Mark.
I'm actually friends with the guy on Facebook who publishes these books, and he reached out to me. He knows I'm pretty active in the comic book.
Can you see that clearly, Barry?
Sure.
Oh, that's a nice cover.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Looks a bit, it looks a bit Xenoscope-like. Yeah.
Yes.
I like
These are,
that.
They're all like bad girl comics, but they're good girls. They're not like, how to put this, not as exploitative as some of those other companies are. They're
Yeah.
just pretty girls in costumes who beat up bad guys, but they're not like trying to do as much TNA as the other companies are.
Yeah.
So it's the same comic with two different covers. And I don't have my copy of Nightcat handy right now, but if you can see it, it's the same image as that you see here. But Joe Jusko painted the Nightcat cover back in 1992, I think it was. So this is an homage. It says after Jusko on there.
We've got the Nightcat cover.
Hey, looks
You got
great.
it. And Nightcat was a character character was designed by Jim Lee. Joe Jusko painted the cover. Stan Lee was the co-writer on the book. I co-plotted it with Jim Salicrup. So, and Dennis Cowan was the artist. And it's so there was some. I'm not saying myself, but there was some big talent on the book. Not
Yeah.
They had some big names involved with that book, which was
But
nice.
it was
That's
true
cool.
about her anyway,
What a
wasn't it? I
treat.
mean, she was actually, she did sing. The person actually existed.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm still friends with her on Facebook to this day. She's a model actress. She appeared in Playboy magazine a couple of times. And she is a singer that this record company hired to be Nightcat. Her name was Jacqueline Tavares.
Yeah.
And the idea was that she would wear the costume and she would perform as Nightcat. They did release a cassette.
album.
I think there might even be a vinyl album, actually.
There is an album.
Cassette.
One of the YouTubers,
Awesome.
Nate of Hall Yeah Comics, he got sent the album.
Excellent.
So I know there is one.
So
It's funny. All the British guys know about this, Derek, but we had no clue. That kind of makes me laugh.
You
but-
don't watch
That's
YouTube, do you?
I do, but I
No, you don't.
and then okay, fine. I watch your stuff.
Well, you don't, because you
Yes, I do. I always comment on it.
No, you don't always comment.
Well, yeah, okay, not all, but you put out 1 million of them.
I haven't.
You old hack.
I've only done 197. What are you talking about? I haven't done anywhere near as many as Mark.
You've upset Bill now. He's a sensitive little flower, and you stepped
Yeah,
on
well, either that or someone called him.
him. Yeah. The water's a foot deep now.
Yeah.
Now
And
it's a
there's a-
catastrophe.
And there's a
Now it's a
fire.
catastrophe. Yeah.
The place is
Oh, by the way,
burning
so
down. What do I do?
I saw somebody mentioned in the comments that captain's name was Zach. Actually,
Yeah.
no, it was Zap Brannigan. I remembered it now.
Yeah,
Zap Brannigan was the idiot captain in Futurama, and his assistant's name was Keith, who was this little sickly green alien guy who tagged along and was forced to. He was constantly sighing because Zap Brannigan would do all this dumb crap. And he'd just be like, "Oh,
and who was the voice of Zap Brannigan?
oh, that I have to look at." I want to say it was Harry Shearer, but I don't. I guess that's not right. I feel like
Okay.
maybe it was, but you know what? Now I gotta know. So here we go.
You Googling
Yeah,
it?
Brannigan,
The search engine is coming in.
voice actor. Oh, it was Billy West. Okay. So
Okay.
that's not who I thought it was. But Billy West, he was the main star there. So it was just another voice he did.
Very prolific guy.
Yep.
Voice of Ren and Stimpy at one point.
Oh
Who's back?
yeah.
Hey, look
So
who's back.
Barry, I'm curious. You said that you did some Ren and Stimpy comics. That's so cool that you were part of that universe.
That was my first monthly series for Marvel. It was originally
Was that with Mike Caslay?
yes. How do you say his name?
I probably fucked it up, but I said Caslay.
Oh,
Is
okay.
it-
I always called him Kazela. I always thought that's how-
Casdala. Well, you're probably right. I thought someone told me Caslay a long time ago, but you know what? I'm old, so I may not remember it correctly. So, but but yeah, but he, he was wonderful on it, and I thought your writing was very in tune with the animated series. So, I felt like you kept true to the source.
Well, thank you. It was a real blast when the original writer left the series after 19 issues. I guess there were some creative differences going on with between the editor and the writer, and I was good friends with the editor at the time, who was Mike Lackey, and he just came into my office one day and he said, "Hey, how'd you like to be the new writer for Ren and Stimpy?" I said, "Sure." So,
Wow.
like I said, back in those days, it was just being in the office. I always used to say, I don't think I'm necessarily the best person for this job or the most qualified person, but I happen to be in the office.
You're the most convenient. You're the
You were
most
there.
convenient.
Yes.
But you did a great job. So I'm sure they knew they were going to get quality from you too. It just happened that all they had to do is walk next door to get you. So that makes perfect sense.
Well, thank you. I mean, Marvel was very incestuous in the 90s. Most of the books were written by friends of the editors who were also on staff. And
Right.
people can argue whether that was for good or ill. In some cases it was probably good. In other cases you go, well, is this the best person to write this book, or does he happen to be your friend and he's a fellow editor?
Exactly.
And then
Sometimes the answer is yes. To both.
On all counts.
Yeah.
And then they went in the complete opposite direction, where they seemed to almost stop giving work to any editors. If you were on staff, you were not. It seemed, I don't know if you were not allowed, but it seemed maybe you were strongly encouraged to not do any writing for the company.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's too bad.
Well, I can see an argument for both.
Yeah.
When, for instance, if you were the editor of Thor and you hire Tom DeFalco to write the book, and he's also the editor-in-chief of the company, how can you go to any of his ideas ever?
Yeah, true. And someone just narked on you, Terry, and said you're on the wine. Terry is on the wine. We're in trouble
I
now.
just answered them.
Well, it's 8 o'clock somewhere.
Charming. I can hold my drink. Hick. That's excellent. I love that. I love this.
Well, what happens, Colin? Gradually during the program, Terry gradually sinks down like this, gets lower and lower, and so all we can see is the dome of his head shining. Then we know it's time to go.
That's pretty true. But Chrome Dome, as we love to call him, behind his back. I'm kidding you, Terry. But
I've been bald since I was 27. I've got no worries.
Have you really? Oh, wow. Yeah, my dad was bald since he was 21. He's been gone for years. But so tell us this. Do you want to keep doing? Have you ever done any television writing, Barry?
No, I have not. It sounds like a lot of fun, but I'm sure it's all. I don't know. Is it Who You Know? Is that how you get in there?
Yeah, that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, it does.
I was a television producer for SeaWorld for CBS, and I started getting, really small writing gigs, but I got it because I knew people at Dick Clark Productions. So yeah, it always had to do with who you knew. Pretty much, it still does. I think
still
that's
does,
really
and
the key.
it's certainly not any easier now. I would say it's much harder. I haven't had writing work in animation in a while, and it's enormously competitive. And when you're in the loop, that's good, but it doesn't mean you're going to stay in the loop. People forget about you, and
Right.
And especially now, I mean, my writing was almost exclusively in animation for TV and mostly kids animation, and that's work is just, I mean, animation generally, the industry is just suffering. Like
Drying up.
a lot of
Yeah.
talented people I know. It's not just me. I mean, there's a lot of
Why is that,
animation
Derek?
talent that's on the
Why is that,
sidelines
Derek?
now.
Are they just, is it expensive to do? Are they finding cheaper stuff to do instead, or is AI taking over, or what?
Well, there's a little bit of all of these things happening. AI is we're really fighting it. I mean, the animators themselves are not gonna just let them get away with that. But the studios want to go that route because they want to save money. They're basically like they're not taking as many chances. They're basically doing a lot of franchise stuff where they're like, this is a tried and true property, and then they just make it to death. So,
Yeah.
like they'll just take us something like SpongeBob. They're still making SpongeBob, but Nickelodeon isn't making hardly any new shows. Like they
Right.
don't have new IP.
And a lot of
They're-
these places, they just want to hold on to the franchises,
that's right.
like
And
like
they're only going
the
with safe
FBI. Well,
bets.
there's only one FBI now, but they want to hold on to the Law and Orders. They want to hold on to the Chicagos. They want to hold on
Yeah.
because they know those sell. And those are probably franchises that, let's be honest, could probably run for 30 years and nobody would even notice at this point. So, and many
Yeah.
of them have. Like you're in your the 27th season of Law and Order SVU. So,
Oh my
I mean,
God. Who
yeah.
cares at
So,
this point?
well, I know, but I still find myself gravitating to these shows because I know they're
Well,
going to be
there's
good.
one. They got you. All
Well,
Well,
right.
no
Bill,
shit.
To,
I
you
know.
go, you go,
As they
Jesus, they're
say on
still doing
Family
this thing.
Guy,
I guess I'll
guilty.
watch it.
Yeah.
hey, Bill,
Yeah.
don't you think season 17, episode 4 was fantastic? I'm kidding. I've never watched.
Oh, that is hilarious. Well, what's so funny is I started thinking in my mind, do I know which episode that
Yeah, I
was?
know. I
'Cause
can see you.
there's a chance
You
I
were brave
might.
going, and you were
My-
cataloging through.
I know. Well, me and my freaking nitnoid mind. But so Barry, are you gonna what's in your future? Do you want to do anything more writing wise for comics if the things come your way?
That's a great question. I would never turn down any comic work. I'm not actively seeking any work at this time. I keep busy enough just selling comics these days. But you never know what might come your way. I was very happy to get that call to work on a comic book. That was my first comic book that I wrote in over 30 years, I think. 20 years.
Oh, wow.
20 years. Oh, wow.
Cracked magazine for a while in the early 2000s.
Oh, that's
what
fun.
magazine? What
Cracked?
magazine?
Cracked magazine, which is the
Oh, Cracked.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. That's how you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where you got to know Mort, probably.
No, more I got to know through Marvel. He went to Cracked.
Oh, Mort went to Cracked later. I'm
went to
sorry, I
Cracked.
forgot the timeline. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I was on reverse paths at that point. He was rising at Marvel. I was falling into Cracked.
You're falling into Cracked. That sounds really weird, but did you
right.
have a cracked pipe? I'm kidding, but no,
I did not do that pun.
You did not. You did not.
No.
I'm
No,
kind of feeling guilty now that I did. But so
there were other
what
places you could have gone with cracked puns. So
I know,
maybe that
I
was more
know.
tasteful than other possibilities.
Maybe I don't know, but
I do.
So I do
So
too.
do I.
Actually. But so Barry, what were some of your parodies that you're really proud of at Cracked?
We did one of Gladiator, the movie.
Oh, that's cool.
It was illustrated by a guy named Tom Richmond, who later went on to become Mad Magazine's top caricaturist.
Cover artist, yeah.
He's just great. He was just brilliant.
He is. He's wonderful.
In fact, I did an X-Men parody that Tom drew also. And again, just outstanding. The X-Men movie that came out in 2000, I think it was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So those were a lot of fun. I went on to publish my own magazine for a little bit called Gag Magazine, which it was funny gags, not the other kind of gag. And it was
as far as we know, I'm kidding.
Rip-off of a rip-off. But that was a lot of fun. But yeah, lost a ton of money on it, but still had a blast. And so I have a couple other things. I have a book I'm working on about all my experiences in TV game shows because I've been on 50 different TV game shows.
Tell us about that. That's interesting.
Well, that's a whole other career you're talking about. That's wild.
So tell us the game. Tell us some of the crazier game shows you've been on.
Yeah,
Well,
how did that come about?
It came about when I wrote a book on how to pick up girls, and that was published by St. Martin's Press back in 1998. And whenever you write a
Awesome.
book about anything, people just figure that you're an expert in the subject at that point. So I started getting booked on TV shows as the dating expert. And one of the shows that booked me was a game show called To Tell the Truth, which they have a panel of celebrity judges, and they hired 2 actors to pretend to be me, and the audience, or the panel had to figure out which one was the real dating expert. And I had so much fun with that. It was a blast. The panel included a pre-Breaking Bad Bryan Cranston. Actually.
Oh,
No way! That's awesome.
And he's hilarious. He's really funny.
Yeah. I've seen it.
Yeah. Oh, everything I've seen about. Well, obviously he's an amazing actor, but he's also seems like quite a ham and a good guy. And I can see a little resemblance there. Yeah. Okay.
Well, Barry, you know who made it to the original To Tell the Truth? Stan Lee.
Dan was on there?
Yes, there's a Stan. Yeah, and I'll post it the next couple days on my page so you can see it. But it's hilarious. And I think he only convinces 1 or 2 people that he's Stan Lee. And I mean he's great. He is just so hilarious, and it's right after the hair plugs, I think, set in. So right when he was getting hair again, and he looked like the hip early 70s Stan.
Hey,
know.
Since you brought up Bryan Cranston, and I was going to show you guys some action figures. You got to check this.
We want to see them in a minute.
Look at that.
Oh,
that is crazy.
There we go.
Walter White.
There
Yeah.
you go. Awesome.
He comes with a hat,
To Tell the
of course,
Truth
and glasses, and all that good stuff. But yeah, pretty sweet. Yeah,
That is nice. I like that.
I don't have the meth lab that comes with it. That would be really sweet. But if only I had a super lab at scale, that would take up a good part of my room.
It's like the Big Jim Winnebago. Yeah, except for used for nefarious purposes.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Yeah,
that is really funny.
But the point of that, I had so much fun on To Tell the Truth. I started thinking maybe I could go on other game shows. So I started looking, and back then you'd go on Craigslist, and you would see we're looking for people to be on this game show. So next thing, I was on The Weakest Link with the nasty British woman.
Oh yeah.
And Robinson.
How'd you do on that?
I made it to the final round. It was
was that Anne Robinson? Did Anne Robinson? Oh
yeah.
Yeah.
She's lovely. What are you talking about? She's a lovely lady.
So great. And I got insulted by her on national television, so that was an honor.
That's wonderful.
That is a treat.
That's a great thing.
Well, that's an honor to be insulted by Anne Robinson.
No,
You're very lucky.
it's probably not an honor. It's probably an honor not being insulted by her, because she's probably insulted everybody.
Right. It would be a dishonor if she didn't insult you. Yeah. Exactly. That's funny.
Did you win The Weakest Link?
I did not win, but I made it to the final round. I had a strategic alliance with another player, and ours was to eliminate the other.
Is that legal?
The other, it was legal on the show. Yes, absolutely. Like with Survivor, you can form alliances.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah.
But the thing is, we had an alliance of, it was us 2 and one more person, this elderly woman who said, when it gets down to the end, she goes, I want you 2 to sacrifice me, because she goes, you 2 would appreciate the winning so much more than I would. So we had an alliance of 3, but one of them was already determined to sacrifice herself, which was great.
Okay.
There's like 12 people that you have to eliminate. So an alliance of 3 isn't really strong enough to win, but somehow through sheer dumb luck and persistence, we made it to the final round. And then my opponent crushed me in the final round. My partner.
Oh.
That's okay though. At least you made it that far.
Yeah.
Too bad you didn't get any money out of the deal, but
yeah.
So have you been offered a SAG-AFTRA card because you've been on so many game shows?
No, it's a different
I know. That was a joke. I'm sorry. That was a poor joke.
You'll see me coming up in December. I'll be on Let's Make a Deal. I taped that about 6 months ago.
Oh,
what
cool,
was your
man.
costume?
I'm not allowed to tell you. I dressed up as a banana.
Oh, I'm a banana. Remember
not
those
allowed
cartoons by Don Hertzfeld? Those were great.
Well, you're
You know
not.
those. I'm sure you know those, Derek. The Don Hertzfeld cartoons where I'm a spoon and I'm a banana. Do you not know those? None of y'all know those? Okay, well, okay.
We wonder what drugs you're on today, Bill.
No, I'm on none that none that you're aware of, but no,
So that's a
I'm on
safe answer.
the beer drug.
Oh, you're on the purple haze. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, I'm on Purple Haze, the beer, not any other substance.
Not
But
the Hendrix
yes,
idea. Yeah.
yeah, no, it's not. Well, it's so they got around using the name because it's both. Its qualities are it's purple, so it pours purple, and it's also hazy. So because of its actual qualities, they didn't have to pay anything for the name.
Mm.
Sure, it's just
And I'm
descriptive.
shocked. I'm shocked. I know such stupid facts, but so
Yeah,
But
yeah.
so Barry, what other things are you into now? Anything else like music? Do you want to go in any other direction? Or are you happy just being you already said it. I forgot. You are happy just being the comic vendor and hunter. You should have a series called the Comic Book Hunter. Oh, tell us more of the different game shows you've been on.
I was on Wheel of Fortune where I won $5,000. I was on.
Cool.
There was an '80s music trivia contest on the Howard Stern show where I won $5,000 also.
Oh wow!
And, I was on the show called $25,000 Pyramid. I won $3,000. So I've never had the big win, and I always like to say my dream in life is I believe my destiny is to someday win $1 million on a TV game show. Hasn't happened yet, but I'll never stop trying.
There you go. Keep doing the reps, man. Keep doing the reps.
Hang on. The Howard Stern thing.
Yes.
Were you polite to him, or was he polite to you, or were you rude to each other?
He's a pretty polite guy these days. He's mellowed.
He's such a nice guy. Of course, I caught him later in his career when he's actually a lot nicer now than he used to be. He was really, really nice. And the way the show worked was I had to challenge his producer, a guy called Baba Booey. I don't know if you know him in the UK, but he's
Baba Booey.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had to play against him in an 80s music trivia game where they would play a song and whoever guessed the song would win. But if I lost, I had to bring a girl on who would get naked on the show.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So I found a strip club and she came. Even though I won, Howard offered her an additional $1,000 if she would get naked, and she did. She was happy to do so.
He's millionaire still on.
Wow. Was this Howard taking advantage of your amazing seduction skills? Because he's like, oh, I know he can bring the ladies in here. So
it was Howard taking advantage of the fact that he had $1,000 in his budget and knowing.
Well, maybe that was it. Yeah, I guess that's what need is there with seduction when you got $1,000 and you just wave that around.
So I will say this. I have of course, like a 1 degree of separation from Vanna White because I've been on Chip White, her brother's podcast, which is called Relatively Famous. And it actually shoots out of my comic store because we're half a podcast studio. So so I was the first guest because my cousins-in-law love it. That went over pretty well, thank God. The show didn't get immediately canceled, which is what I feared, of course. But we've I think they are on maybe their 40th or 45th show now, and they have gotten underwriting from Myrtle Beach, South Myrtle Beach, and so they do a lot of ads for South Myrtle Beach. But it's actually a really great show. We've had a lot of we had Dolly Parton's sister on right before right before she blew up because she made everybody think Dolly was dying and Dolly had a cold.
Yeah, people got really pissed off at her.
Yeah, but everyone did a Google search and we had just launched that episode 2 days before that happened. And so that's the biggest one we've ever had.
Oh, well, there
And
you go.
it's
Yeah.
in the thousands.
Isn't that great when you can just sort of ride the zeitgeist like that? You know,
Right,
you
right.
couldn't
But
have
it
planned
happened
it.
so few times and so little,
Sure.
Derek, that yeah,
Oh, I know. I'm
but
sitting here not in the zeitgeist now, so I know.
so and Barry, my real job is in television, so I do quite a bit of television production. But what are there any other? I feel like you've done 50 game shows. There has to be some that really stick out that you haven't mentioned yet.
Bill, Big Lyle is very upset. He thought he was your Lyle Lovett.
No, I'm sorry. I'm happily married,
No.
but I
Sorry.
apologize.
You're his
I
Lyle.
do
Leave
love
it.
you, Lyle, but you're not no Lyle Lovett to me because he's actually my cousin. But why do I have to explain these things at this point? I kid,
I
but
don't think you have to.
I don't think I do.
You're choosing to. It's up
I
to you,
felt
man.
like I was redundant there, and I hate being redundant.
Well,
But
that means you repeated yourself.
but no, we've had who else have we had? We've had Curly's grandson from the Three Stooges, who's now known as Curly G because he's a big fat bald guy and he does a pretty good Curly imitation, and it happens to be his
Oh,
grandfather
I
who
thought it would be
died.
because he's a rapper.
Yeah, Curly G.
Curly G.
You know, yeah,
Record scratches.
yeah.
Put that in post.
But but no, we've had a lot of great. I'm trying to think. We've had some. Oh well, so Clint Eastwood's daughter was on there, and she is actually the makeup artist for the Wheel of Fortune. So that's how we got her. But she has
It's
in-laws
all
that live.
coming full circle now.
Yeah, and she has in-laws in San Antonio, so she was actually at the store, and she and I became really good friends after that. She is super cool. She and I are the same age, except she looks a hell of a lot better than I do, and she doesn't look like Clint, thank God. So Clint always married beautiful women, so I'm sure she got her looks from her mom. But every time she walked into the room, I heard this. It was very strange. It was very strange. I didn't understand that. But I do want to say this. Have any of you guys seen Tulsa King?
I heard good things.
No, is that
okay?
okay?
It's Stallone, but
Right.
but the theme song is such a ripoff of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. The song I just tried to imitate and did a bad job of.
I got it.
And it's very crazy that who's the guy that did Yellowstone, all those shows? I can't think of his name now.
That's Taylor
But
Sheridan or
yeah, Tyler Sheridan. Yeah.
Tyler Sheridan. That dude.
Yeah. That's one of his shows. I have a feeling he probably said, "Let's go the good, the bad, and the ugly route with this one," But
Right. I don't want to pay for that, but give me that flavor. Give me that flavor. Just give me the royalty free version.
Exactly. So Barry, I'm guessing you haven't been on Survivor.
No, I don't like doing shows like that. I only like doing shows.
That's not a game show.
No, it's not. No, but I was joking.
Okay.
I couldn't see him being stuck in the middle of no. I wouldn't want to be. So.
What about Love Island though? You should do that.
Oh yeah, Love Island.
I'm probably too old for a show like that, but
Golden Love Island. I'm joking because the Golden Bachelor, but
right, yeah.
Golden Love Island.
That's what I'm moving towards.
I can still get it up, but what?
Sponsored by Viagra.
So were you ever on Jeopardy?
Funny you should mention that. No, I'm not smart enough to be on Jeopardy, but I did just audition this week for Pop Culture Jeopardy for on Netflix.
Well, you're definitely smart enough for that. Oh, and Steve is here just in time. That almost looks like a slee stack to me, but but it's not. Thank God.
Evening.
And so that's our
But
third mask of the
It's
evening.
almost Skeletor.
It
Yeah, I
is.
use it as a
It is.
Skeletor
So
cosplay.
they
one
gave
time.
There we
they
go.
gave these away at Comic-Con this year. These
Ooh, that's
Predator
cool.
masks. So
Yeah.
that's why I happen to have a Predator mask close by. Yeah, I also have my Wolverine mask. I almost appeared as Billverine today, like I did last year. But
I have a pretty cool Darth Vader mask, but I can't put the headphones on with the Darth Vader mask, so that was going to be problematic.
I've got my
Right.
glasses on, so I can't really see what I'm doing.
Oh my gosh! Take it off. You got us. You shocked us. So now
I
you can
started
take
with
it
the
off
mask
and-
too, but I could not rock it for long for the same reason.
That's right. So Barry, were you ever into action figures at all? Do you oh my God! Take the Yeti mask off too. Yeah, the intelligent Yeti mask because you're wearing your glasses now. But Barry, have you ever been into action figures at all or any of that toy stuff?
No, I primarily focused just on comics. When I worked for Marvel, we were how to put it? We were given the opportunity to have access to lots of great, cool things like cool statues and things like that. You could get a great discount on them, or we were allowed to take home any broken statues that we found. We get posters. We would get. It was so much fun.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, I bet you got a lot of merch.
It was great. T-shirts, you name it. You know, you used to provide Marvel T-shirts to all your friends, that kind of thing.
Totally, that's awesome.
Really cool.
But
yeah.
The other thing I do want to mention, I do have a TikTok channel with over 30,000 followers.
Wow.
Cool. That's great.
I talk about playing blackjack in Vegas. That's pretty much my channel.
Okay, now tell us that story. See, every time I think we're done with what we can talk to him about, he brings up something. So I'm
there's another facet to Barry. I mean,
hang on.
I know.
So we've just been talking to this guy for an hour and a half.
Multifaceted Barry Dada. but so Barry,
hang on. He's got 30,000 followers on TikTok because he's
I feel like we just keep peeling back the layers of the Barry onion.
The bunion, as it were. Well, not a bunion, but a Barunion. Yeah,
So,
sorry
Barry,
about that.
That
didn't come off right at all, did it?
Is this you playing blackjack in Las Vegas or telling people how to play blackjack?
It's instructional, and it's also I tell stories of things that happened at the blackjack table. I haven't recorded any actual sessions yet. I'm still working on getting that going. But it's just, fun stories of things that happen at the blackjack table, entertaining stories, strategy things, mistakes that people make, mistakes that you can avoid, that kind of thing.
Okay, great.
Cool.
I like to say,
Wow.
it's all, at the end of the day, I love storytelling. Ever since I was a kid, I always loved telling stories. So I wrote comic books, I did magazines, I did newspapers. And so now TikTok is just, I did stand up, I dabbled in it for a little while, but never got paid for it. I did some open mics. But anyway, it's been an ongoing process of just telling stories in whatever format I can find to tell stories in.
For sure, man.
Have you ever been carried around the back of a casino using your head to open the doors?
Use my head to open the doors? What?
Yeah, like that guy at the start of the casino.
I think that's like some Russian mafia victim story.
Yes. No, I'm not I've never won enough money to get thrown out of a casino. My dream is to someday be so successful that the casino wants to ban me because they say you must be cheap. That's my dream.
Yeah, that would be great. Wouldn't it?
Every now and then, Steve is very low key, but every now and then he throws something out there that is beyond hilarious, and you just achieved that yet again, sir.
I've never
been very good, sir.
No, that's how it happens.
So my daughter, who's living in San Francisco, she had a nasty bicycle accident the other week, and broke her pelvis.
Oh no!
So
no!
One of her friends, who she works with, she's a PhD postdoctorate scientist, said you can come and stay with us because we've got a ground floor bedroom. So this woman she's staying with it's a married couple, and she came home the other week. She started talking about. I said, "What do they do?" She said, "Well, she works as a research scientist across the corridor from me, and he is a full-time gambler. And I said, "Oh yeah, what does he gamble on?" And he said he's written an algorithm based on it's sports betting, and it's based on the referees in I can't remember, it's a baseball, I think. And he's written an algorithm based on the bias of the referees in baseball, I think. So I said, "Oh, yeah, does he sort of bet $100 at the time?" She says, No. He bets about $250,000 every weekend.
God.
And he wins 60% of the time and loses 40% of the time. And I said, "Well, that's all right." And she said, "Yeah."
Well, that's the net gain. Yeah.
And he does it all. He's actually opened a little office in Las Vegas to enable him to do this. And he puts all his bets through the MGM Grand. And I said
Wow.
to him, I said, I got comped at the MGM Grand when I used to go and gamble out there, and I'd spent nothing like that. I said, how many loyalty points? And she said, "Oh, they keep offering him a penthouse suite free for the weekend." But him and his wife don't want to use it.
Another stratosphere. Does he use the X-ray table that we've heard about? Because there's this whole scandal that broke about sports betting. Maybe you've heard about this.
No,
here in the U.S. Oh yeah. This is just within the last week.
With the basketball.
Yeah. The betting on NBA games.
That's a really big thing. Yeah, a coach.
Yeah.
The coach of the Seahawks, not the Seahawks. That's football. The Seattle
Supersonics.
Timberwolves. No,
I think it's the Supersonics.
How does an X-ray table work?
The X-ray. I just heard a little snippet about this, but apparently there's some table that they had like an X-ray or a radiation that would come up through it. It basically works as an X-ray, and you could see cards that people had face down on the table. And then there was also something where people had like special contacts or glasses that enabled them to see marks that you couldn't see with the naked eye.
Oh yeah.
When without that on a card.
Yeah. Well, that's gone on forever, I think. I mean, I don't think that's new.
Well, this is all alien.
They have those. They have those gaming tables when they're showing poker on TV, so you can see what hands people have got. Otherwise,
So have you had some pretty big payoffs, Barry, on 21?
I wouldn't say really big. I kind of represent the small-time gambler. I kind of represent the little guy.
Yeah.
I just kind of found a niche because what I found in social media is if you find something that specifically men are passionate about, because men like to fight over stuff that they're passionate about.
Right.
Because it's all about engagement. So you just come on and you say, well, this is the way you're supposed to do it. And then you just let people fight it out in the comments. You can get that engagement, which leads you to
That's exactly right.
That's good. That's a good strategy. That's a good way to think about it, Barry. Yeah.
Can I ask about the laws now in America as far as gambling is concerned? Because I mean, it used to be illegal in certain states for different things and all that kind of stuff. Is that still the case? Right, with horse racing and things like that.
In all three of us Yanks history or lifetime, when we were kids, Vegas was the only place you could gamble in the United States. Then Atlantic City did it, and then all of the different tribes, Indian tribes and nations got into it, and it just a lot of money went to politicians. Let's face it, and so and now you can gamble anywhere at any time on any device. So we've become a nation of gamblers, and I've avoided it like the plague. If I go to Vegas or if I go to a place where I can gamble, that's one thing, but I'm not going to seek it out, and I'm not going to do it from my armchair at home because it's too convenient and it's too easy to lose money.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
I've never been a gambler myself. I've always figured there's a reason the lights are real bright in Vegas, and it's not because you go there and the odds are you're going to win.
You pay
they're making the money off of suckers like you. So
blackjack.
It's not to say you can't win. Of course, you can win. It's just the probability.
All I meant was about the laws. I mean, I knew.
Well, it's interesting. I was actually listening to a thing about this in California. Technically, it's still illegal for you to use like those gambling apps, which are very popular now. But people work around this all the time. They just you get a VPN on your phone so that it doesn't know where you're logging in from, and then it's it doesn't matter because these apps are in the app store, which doesn't even it's almost like it certainly isn't tied to a certain state. And as long as you can disguise where you're from, then you can use it.
Okay,
people do it all the time.
So I think it's time for some. Honky D, you promised us some unusual action figures.
I did, and if it's show and tell time, then I'll dust off a few. Well, you've already seen one of them. Let's see. So let's see what I got here. I'm just gonna kind of randomly grab a couple things. Oh my God! You know what? I was gonna show you this, but this is terrifying because poor Gandalf, something happened to his head. So we're gonna come back to Gandalf. Here, I'll show you this one. I told you they were unusual. So ready for this action figure? Yeah.
Is that from the original Galilee collection?
I guess so. Yeah. This is OG from from 0 AD or 33.
The Last Supper collection.
The last,
yeah. I've been sitting on this a long time.
It's really the Last Supper.
Yeah. Till he comes back. Coming soon to a planet near you. I don't know. That's just what I've been saying.
My day job
still in the box, so very valuable.
Considering my day job is producing the Shredder Turin TV series, I have to say I heartily endorse that. I wish there was a Shredder Turin version. Maybe we need to do that as a fundraiser for the show.
Now, here's something very unusual. This is still in the wrapper. I have not opened this. This is it's a Funko Gandalf. So here's you can see what he looks like a little bit better there. So those Funko toys. That is a Funko Gandalf.
That looks more retarded than most of the pops look. I have to say it. It's like a Playmobil figure on a bad day.
Yeah, I guess so.
But it's cool.
Yeah,
it's super cool. Well, the packaging is it's basically a videotape box.
Yeah, it kind of is.
It's a VHS box.
It's like a VHS, which was dated even when this movie came out.
That's why it's Rewind. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's classic, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you could put it on your shelf and pretend that you have a movie that's just about Funko Gandalf. People are weird. People want weird things. This one's terrific. All right. I'll regale you with a couple more, and then you can move on. This one, he's a little bit disassembled. He's not. I think he's got some parts that are hanging up because he's got a lot of parts. But this is Treebeard and I'm I'm a big Tolkien Lord of the Rings fan, of course, and this is just freaking cool. It's so big I gotta back it up. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, you can see he's very Entish, obviously. And he's articulated, these arms bend, sort of. He's more articulated than a tree is.
Doesn't he talk as well?
Yeah.
Does he talk?
No, he doesn't say "I'm Groot," does he? No.
I think there's a.
He's not Groot, baby. Groot's a whole other animal, man. No, that's I mean, somewhat plant related. Oh yeah, there's like parts of him that are that's fallen off. These are they can reattach, but they're just he's kind of a messy action figure, as I suppose he should be. But anyway, love that guy. And I'm going to show you one more. Oh wait, maybe two more. Oh yeah. Okay, this one's really killer. So sticking with the Tolkien Lord of the Rings stuff, this was the first action figure related to the movies. And this actually came out, you can see here, it says convention exclusive. You could only get this at Comic-Con. And this came out before the movies came out. And it's a Twilight Frodo. Basically, it's Frodo after he puts the ring on, and the ring wraiths are chasing him. But he's invisible. That's Frodo. You can barely see him. But this is like invisible Frodo. Super weird.
I can't hear what he's saying.
What?
Somebody's playing around with a microphone. I can't hear what you were saying.
Oh. Okay.
Sorry.
Well, let me try that again.
It's gone quiet now.
So this is Twilight Frodo Baggins. This was a Comic-Con exclusive. It came out before the movies came out. This was and you could and so this was before anybody had seen the movies, let alone any of the other action figures or anything like that was available. This was kind of just to get some hype going for the movie, and Frodo's invisible because he's wearing the one ring, and these are a couple of ring wraiths trying to catch him.
Very good. Like that.
Yeah, that one's pretty fun. So I don't know. I should probably see if this is worth something because I need the money. But anyway, I'll show you one more, and then I'll stop. All right, this one's just really silly. I hope you're ready for this. You're probably not ready for this. This is I call him my Freegle. And he actually came with only one flag, which has an eagle in the staff, which sort of is meta, I guess. But he ended up having another flag. Oops, don't hold it upside down, buddy. Okay, there you go.
Should pride a place in the window next year then.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, this is like a talisman I can put so that if some sort of roving band of MAGA marauders comes to my doorstep, I can go, oh, I'm a patriot. I'm a patriot. See, look at what a hyper patriot I am. Don't shoot me. I'm definitely not liberal. So yeah, that'll be fun. Anyway, so there's just a few of my very weird action figures, and there's more, but that's probably enough for now. I'll save something for next time.
Right. So I have my smog monsters. Barry's gone. We want to thank Barry. Thank you, Barry.
Okay.
Oh,
thanks,
is Barry
Barry.
still there?
No, actually, as soon as you wait,
Barry,
maybe.
Barry, you still there?
Mark's gone though. Where's Mark?
Yeah,
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, Barry.
Yep.
Yes. Gentlemen, thank you so much for having me. It's been a blast.
Thank you,
Hey, it was great to meet you, man.
And
nice to meet you too.
I hope you come back someday. Thanks. Okay, so Mark, I'm going to show my annual Halloween smog monsters. So here's my one-eyed, what should be both, but for some reason only one works.
Okay.
You want to take that back, Bill?
You can only afford one battery. Yeah, I know.
No. It's one battery should work both, but
I'm taking the piss.
Okay, I hate you all, but so you go like that. I took the head off trying to fix it, and then I couldn't get the freaking head back on. I needed Clay, the guy that used to work for me at the store. He had to get it back on for me. So this is my latest Hedra or smog monster, and this came from, guess where? The Godzilla Museum.
Ooh.
Yeah, my friends went there. Yeah, I love that collective. Ooh, that made me really happy right now. But
Bill, can you put it near your head? Putting your head out there. Oh yeah, twins.
Twins. Thank you. I knew that was coming. So this is one. So I want to take this shit out because you have to put this one together. This is a smog monster when he's in what they call the tadpole phase, and you never find a figure like this.
No.
I really want to just break it out. But look at the super generic, packaging.
You can read Chinese then, yeah?
No, this is Japanese.
Japanese, all right then. Can you read Japanese?
Well, here's what's weird. That looks Chinese, and the rest is Japanese. So I'm not really sure. And then I have, this is the biggest one I think I have. And it's also still in the plastic.
Huh?
And it's in really weird colors.
Well, Darren will be happy, won't it? It's in the plastic still.
Right? Exactly.
Suffocating the poor
exactly.
Sod.
But isn't that cool? I
what you can see of it, yeah.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Senor Smartass.
So Bill, have you seen your entire?
I have two more to show.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I love this one. This one is colored like a bad acid trip, or that's what Mark told me it looked like. But a bad acid trip, I mean. Kidding.
Purple haze.
Kidding.
definitely purple haze there. And there's purple.
And then here's a bizarre one that's also in the bag still. I think I'm just gonna break these fuckers out. Pardon my French. But this came out in 2017.
I can't see it's pink and white. Bag. I can't see it doing it much good.
It's a weird color coming. Well, it's pearl.
Can't breathe.
Maybe it's because it's in a bag. It looks like an organ that got removed.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, yeah. I'm taking it out.
Is it actually?
You guys have forced me to open this.
Yes, it was our doing.
It was your. Every second playing you guys.
Alive is going to attack your throat now. Go on, go
when
for
I
it.
get $200 less for this, when I try to, I'm kidding. I'm keeping all the pieces. I'll be able to reassemble it, but it's pink. It's pink and white pearlescence.
Oh, that's my favorite one, Bill.
Yes.
I mean, those things aren't cheap to start with, are they, Bill?
That is creepy.
No. This one is one of the rarer ones that I've shown you today. This one goes for anywhere from $300 to $500. I got a really good deal on it. A lot less than that. Yeah,
you've lost $200 now. You're taking it out of the bag. So.
Well, no, I figured. Shut up, fucker. You're really upsetting me because I was worried, and now I'm really worried. No, I can get. Well, I really want to have these out, and you guys just gave me a good excuse. But this is such a great creature, and this is my favorite Godzilla villain of all time. I'm really happy that I've been able to get so much of this stuff, and I really wish I could show you. I wish you could see this one better. It's well, let's see if we can. Okay, it's dark gray and black. I mean, dark gray and red, and then it's got hints of yellow and red on it. But I mean, these are just really great. Great toys. They're huge. They're not Safubi because Safubi it can't be hard, right, Steve? Isn't that right?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. Safubi means soft.
Yeah.
One of the aspects of it is soft. But these are all the hard plastic. And so which I actually prefer because the Safubi stuff, Safubi stuff is way more expensive for whatever reason. And I really want to own more of this stuff, but I'm not going to spend an arm and a leg. I already have spent a few $100s on these smog monsters, but this is still my favorite just because I can do that.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
But I do wish both eyes were. That really well. Have
you tried hitting him on the other side of his head?
Well, yeah, and it just goes to that. Yeah, it's like the Popeye version. I'm gonna hit it hard enough one day, and it's gonna go, all this, and then I'm gonna really freak out. It's gonna be the Popeye smog monster. But that was a really bad joke. But okay, I have one more Halloween thing to show, and you guys have seen it before. but I'm going to have to transform now into my alter ego. Wolverine.
Wolverine.
There you go.
Yay! He's back! Yay!
Where's your claws?
Snicked.
No
Yeah,
claws,
I do have claws. I didn't bring them. I mean, I
No.
don't have them close by, but I do have.
So you can't bring them out the skin then?
We printed them out. Yeah, they're printed just like the mask is. And now this isn't printed. This is mass produced. It's very thin. You know, they give a lot of this stuff out at Comic-Con. The one thing I wish I'd gotten, they gave out Peacemaker masks.
Oh, that would be
and
cool.
I wish I'd gotten one of those. So that's it for me. You can make me small again.
Okay.
But I know, Steve, you have to have more stuff. It's fucking Halloween. Come on, dude.
Steve, have you got any horror figures?
I've got some bits. There's a really nice Invisible Man figure.
Ooh.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And that's classic horror, which I love. Derek, you like horror, don't you?
I'm not like a horror connoisseur.
No, but you like classic horror, I'm sure.
Oh,
Is that the Kenner?
No, it's a
That's
later
really
one
cool.
than the Kenner one.
That's great. You know,
That's awesome, man.
I sold it years ago, but my favorite
Love that.
monster toy of all time was I had a Kenner or a
nice.
Hasbro
Dynamite Monster Hall of Fame.
That's
What
great,
the
man.
heck?
Love it.
What? That's weird. I don't ever remember Dynamite having any books. Oh, that's awesome.
It's not the same
Oh, that's
company, though, is it?
great.
That's not the same
There's,
company.
Monsters of the movies.
Yeah, it is. It's the magazine. It's
Oh, Dennis
Scholastic.
Gifford. I've got that
Dennis
somewhere.
Gifford.
Cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All
Neat. Love it.
There's Bleeding Skull, a 1990s trash horror odyssey.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Love that.
Just lists all
Fun, man.
just all 90s crappy horror films.
They still
There's,
make them in 1990.
Folks, I'm sorry. I got to get going.
Okay.
But
Thanks, Derek. Thanks for having
Yeah,
a couple
thanks for
hours
having
for us
me.
this week.
You're welcome anytime, Derek.
Great seeing you, buddy. Happy
yeah,
Halloween.
you too. All right. Happy Halloween to you guys.
Bye, bud. Talk to you soon.
There's Frankenstein by Mary Shelley.
Oh, yeah.
The pop-up book? That's awesome.
I don't think that's the original.
It's in pop-up
Oh,
form.
that's brilliant.
Brilliant.
I love those.
Mark, what do you mean that's not the original?
It's not the original. They didn't. She didn't do pop-up books in 18.
As far as we know.
When she wrote it.
There's Dracula by Bram Stoker.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's fantastic.
Oh, my God. That is
When
amazing.
were they made, Steve? The condition they're in, they're fantastic, aren't they?
They're beautiful.
2021.
Oh.
Yeah, quite
They're
neat.
beautiful.
There's Sherlock Holmes, The Hound of the Baskervilles.
Oh, my gosh.
It's
So
pretty much
they
got the
use
same-
the same hound. I'm kidding.
They probably did.
Somewhere. Yeah, I've pretty much got the same. Where is it?
Okay, you guys are British. I'm
It's got
not.
the same. There's the
Oh,
Hound.
that's awesome. Oh, I love that. It's like a puppet.
Lovely
That's
art
amazing.
as well, isn't there?
So you guys are British. What I would like to ask each of you, who is your favorite person to play Sherlock Holmes?
Basil Rathbone.
Basil Rathbone.
There's a
That's beautiful. Terry?
No, I would agree with him as far as that's concerned. And then there's, as far as TV is concerned, then Cumberbatch.
There's,
Yeah, you know what? I agree with you guys. Basil is the man. Oh, that's great.
These are nice.
Those are so sweet. Oh, those are nice.
Oh,
that's a nice one.
You're trying to get me to come up and raid your house again.
Oh, that's a nice one. That almost looks like an ACG cover. These are great. They're in great condition.
I mean,
I think the Mylar helps.
Well, my lights are Mylar, whichever it is.
They're 50s, aren't they? Those ones?
And then,
Yes, they all were. They were all 10 centers.
The most horrifying thing you guys will ever see, and that I'll ever show you,
Oh dear.
there's a fucking blind bag.
Oh, you got it! Oh no!
No!
Right,
No! You haven't got 99 others, have you?
I'm going to tell you something. I think
Happy
that's
Halloween.
the last desperate
You're
gasp of the
banned.
comic book industry. It's like suddenly we're trading cards, and you don't know what you're going to get, and you're going to take a crap on these because they're not going to be worth anything in 2 years, and they're the hot commodity right now. But you know what? I steer clear of those not gadgets. What am I thinking? Gimmicks. I steer clear of those because that's all the comic industry is right now.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad that we run a vintage comic store and I don't have to deal with that nonsense.
Oh, you're not doing blind bags then, Bill?
You know what? We could do it with vintage stuff and just, you don't know, but we couldn't do it. You know, we couldn't really do it with one title because unless it might be Fantastic Four or Superman or something we have a lot of early issues of, or a lot, not early, but
I'm the only UK whatnotter, I think, who is blind bag free.
Oh, is that a thing now?
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh, you mean the new comics that are coming out? That you're not
they
selling any of the blind bags.
They sell the comics in a bag, so you can't see what you're getting.
Right, but you know what you ought to do is you ought to do your own blind bags and say they're within this parameter, and you don't know what you're going to get, and you show that you put a bunch of really good books.
Mark's already done that.
No, I'm figuring someone has, but that would be the way to do it with older books.
Did it, but because they weren't modern variant covers, nobody gave a shit.
Yeah,
right. Well, yeah. And
put some quality Silver Age older stuff up, and nobody fucking wants it.
I don't think the variants are going to hold up over time. Do you, Mark?
Sorry.
I don't think
the price. It's a FOMO thing. You know, it's ridiculous. All those comics, you can see them now. There's a Battle Beast one done earlier in the year. All of them are now worth a tenth of what people were paying for them. And none of these things will be worth anything in 3 years' time. Some of the covers are quite good. That Mark Spears one, I think. They're selling for
you know what, Sean?
£5, I think it's actually okay.
I don't actually like his work.
My friend Sean.
There's only one of those Mark Spears ones I've seen that I would like, and that was
really?
A homage to Elvira. That's about the only one I would like.
So my friend paid $2,000 for the Battle Beast cover.
Oh, has he got more money than sense, Bill?
Did you slap him?
Well, he's big pharma, so yes, but here's the thing. That's something that I'm just going based on what I know things are going for or not going for. That is actually something that if he sold it at the right time, he could probably at some point in the near future make 10 times that, because that's how he has to make sure it doesn't cut. I really believe this, and it's not, he's not doing it for that.
Do you know how many of those were printed, Bill?
No, but he owns the cover.
Oh, sorry, he owns the cover. Oh, he owns the original
cover art.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, for only $2,000, which
that's real. No, that's fine.
Right. So no. So what I'm saying is that that's the only safe way to invest in these things if you get lucky enough. He bought. So the same guy does all of the Gunslinger Spawn covers now, and so Sean has bought a couple of those too. So he goes,
original artwork's fine.
Yeah, and I don't think that's going to lose its.
No. That's a genuine one of one.
Right.
Not one of 35,000.
or one of 35 that you have to pay $300 for, and you don't even know if anyone will care tomorrow.
I know it's a bit wild, but I brought some comics.
Hey, go, buddy, go.
Got it.
Oh wow! What condition is that?
9.6, but I've got it.
The live stamp is covering up the what condition is it?
Right, sorry, it's a 9.6.
Oh wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I bought that raw and had it slabbed. So I was really pleased.
What does the 9.6 go for right now, Mark?
Oh, I don't know. It's about $100. You know, it's not hugely expensive. Probably about $100, 60, 70 quid, something like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think mine's only about 7.
However, this one goes for a bit more money. This is this one is the first expensive comic that I bought when I was about 22, and I went to a comic convention in London, and I picked this off a dealer's table, and 20, 30 years later, I had it slabbed.
Oh, that's better.
And what is it? What condition?
It's
the live thing is covering it up. That's the only reason. 7. That's beautiful.
It's still probably, what was it, £4,000 or £5,000, isn't it?
Yeah, a bit less than that, but it's a sort of $2,000 or $3,000.
I remember when I sold my collection, there was a little bundle the person that I sold it to missed, and House of Secrets was sitting in amongst those.
Oh,
I took it down to but I mean this is in the sort of like early 80s, around about 81, 82.
Yeah,
I took it down to a convention.
Yeah,
I got £75 for it.
Well, it might have been me that bought it. Maybe this is the Terry. Maybe this is the Terry. Maybe this is the Terry copy.
Yeah, maybe. You never know.
Yeah, but what's funny is you know my horror story, right? So I got the copy last year in the collection, and Phil was real quick to buy it from me, and I gave him a really good deal, and it came back a 7.5, but with a purple label.
Oh
yes, and I offered to buy it back from him.
Yeah,
but and he said no. He goes, I knew what I was doing, you know, and it's worth it. Like, and it might have just been the smallest of touch ups.
What did he do? It, did he touch it up?
No, he didn't.
No, it's a serious question, because you said he said he knew what he'd done, so maybe he touched it up himself.
Oh no. He meant he knew what he was getting himself in, because it wasn't graded when he bought it from me.
Yeah.
And I gave him a really good deal.
And this one, I bought this new back in the day when I was doing comics in the 90s. And I had it in my attic collection, and it was one of the first comics I sent off for grading. It's the first comic I ever got back that I had graded that came back as a 9.8.
Nice.
Very nice.
What issue, number 1?
It's number 1. Yeah, it's Preacher.
Oh, wow.
Preacher number 1. In a 9.8, and I remember buying this new from a local comic shop in Peterborough. So I was really pleased when that came back a 9.8.
There used to be a point in time where every comic I read had to have somebody wearing a cape punching planets in it. And I picked up a Preacher trade one day.
Yeah,
it made me think and made me see that it doesn't all have to be superheroes. There's other stuff out there that's
Well, and I have to tell you, I really didn't get into Preacher until the TV series, and I swear to this day it's one of the best comic book based TV series of all time.
It's very good. It's very
good.
Yeah,
and I hear it's very close to the comic.
Yeah, they have
not exactly, but you know,
have our face in it.
What's that?
Our face.
Oh, I know. And Hitler is such a Hitler, but it's just a great series. And God, what an asshole God is.
Yeah.
you know.
Well, is that a general,
Jesus,
is that a general observation, Bill, or you just took?
So what's so funny is that at the end, Jesus is working at a Home Depot and helping people get color matches for their paint, and it's just so bizarre. And he goes, I thought I might be in one of the more carpentry centric areas, you know, and it was well written. I have to say, it was really, really well written. And the girl who was also in Agents of Shield for a while, that played his girlfriend slash wife, the preacher, she was great. I think she's British.
Yeah, I mean I mean the comic is Garth Ennis, who did The Boys, of course, and he's.
Did he do The Boy? You know, that's weird. I didn't realize. I mean, it makes perfect sense. He's British, right?
Yeah, he's British. Yeah,
and he started at 2000 AD.
I don't know where he started.
I think it was 2000. Do you know, Steve? The
I
All-Wise
don't know whether he started there. He did. What's that? What's the? I can't remember. Zenith. He did Zenith, didn't he?
Did he do Strontium Dog?
Strontium Dogs?
No, did he do Strontium Dog?
He did. I know he did Zenith for 2008.
Yeah, he did Zenith. That's it. Yeah, that's right.
Anyway,
that's right.
So he's a Thought Bubble, Terry. So if you've got any Garth Ennis stuff, now I don't know where this came from. I was running a Whatnot show the other night, and I just pulled it out of the box and I showed it, and I thought, I don't want to sell this. Luckily, the guy who bought it, somebody bought it, and I thought, oh damn. Anyway, his sale fell through, so I still got it. This is great. Let me just make myself big. It's a great Glenn Fabry cover. Glenn did a number of the covers to Hellraiser and Preacher. And
Fabry is fantastic, and he's done some interior stuff too. That's really good.
This is a zombie Missy Thatcher.
Oh my God! Well, she sure looks better than the real Margaret. She was a handsome fellow. I mean, handsome woman. But
she wasn't a liar like most of the politicians these days.
Well, no, that's true.
You said she was going to do something, she generally did, whether you liked it or not.
Well, all politicians did back then. Even Bill Clinton had a pretty good record, and so did Obama. But since the Trump era, But you guys, so do you guys like your prime minister now? Is he popular and unpopular?
He's the least popular prime minister ever.
Oh, really? See, I know nothing about him. I know
he's less popular than the one that got assassinated, and we only ever had one that's got assassinated.
Who was that?
I think it was back in the 1800s. I can't think of his name now. But
oh shit.
This is one of my favorite horror artists.
Who is it?
It's John Bolton.
Oh, I love John Bolton.
Yeah, me too. This is him on Vampire Lestat, Anne Rice's Vampire Lestat from Innovation. He did all the covers on these. They're really great. Yeah.
Bill, it was
yes.
Spencer Percival was his name.
Was who?
The name of the prime minister that got assassinated in this country.
Oh, I've never heard that name before. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is
we have that at the store.
You've got that one? Yeah. Nice Bernie Wright there. Great detail on it, and it says writing on it.
Do you have the Dave Stevens zombie cover?
Yeah.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
And that was actually a poster for Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it? Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
and it's great.
What did you pick up today, Colin? Colin's
really? Which one, Colin? The Dave Stevens or the Wrightson? Well, we'll wait for that answer to come in.
Right, guys. I think we might be. I think that might be the end of the show tonight.
Fantastic.
Thanks for
I want to
inviting.
thank you guys. Oh, wait. I have one more Halloween thing to show.
Right.
I
Is it
forgot
another
all about it.
smog monster?
In a bag. Oh no.
Make me full screen real quick. I bought this.
Oh,
well,
Dark
here.
Shadows. Yeah.
Let me
What
take
is
it
it?
out of the.
Oh, you got the Anne Rice. Nice. Yeah, Colin just got the John Bolton Anne Rice.
Oh, that's awesome. But check this out.
The original music.
Yeah.
Is the music good?
And music's fantastic. It's from the actual show.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is. And it comes with a poster.
Is it vinyl?
Yes, it's vinyl. It's from 1970 or 1969.
Oh,
So,
excellent.
yeah, so this is Barnabas, the vampire. This is Colin, who became the werewolf. And then you flip it over and you have another poster of each of them. And the sad thing is that this guy is 6'3", and the actor that they had that played the werewolf was 5'7". So it looked pretty ridiculous, but
Yeah.
but hey, so that's all I got. I just wanted to show you that because this is our Halloween episode, and I want to tell you guys it's an honor. I want to thank Barry Dutter before we leave, also known as Dada, and didn't he have some great stories?
Yeah.
So I really researched him before I came on, so I knew kind of how to like get more out of him because I knew he's got so many facets though. It's kind of amazing. But and Steve, I'm so glad you got in and showed us some of your great stuff. And Terry, you need to get some fucking action figures. And Mark, you don't care about action figures. And I say, I'm kidding. I don't mean that at all. But no, I love you guys. I know you did. I know you did.
I have to tell you, I will.
I know that. I know I irritate you, but that's okay.
Yeah, I get an action figure before I got a blind bag. In fact, I did buy some action figures from Colin at a charity auction that I can't get rid of.
What are they? What are they? You got to tell us. Oh, yeah, that's an action figure. That's an inaction figure.
What's
no
the
points of articulation.
Yeah, what's the POA on that, Terry?
Thank you, Colin.
This cost me 99 pence in B&M, I tell you.
B&M.
You need to go down the toy aisle next time you're in there, Terry. You'll see something.
Now, what is that? What is that, Mark?
Right,
is that an anime character?
They theoretically sell on eBay. It's from Tales of the Abyss. It's a manga thing, and they theoretically sell for about 30 quid each.
You can't see his face on this.
Is that Jack Skellington?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
but you can't see his face. Look, I can put me. See, I'm putting.
Yeah, because it's non-existent.
I've got a whole box full of these. I've got the complete set.
Oh my god!
And this was £3.95.
Did you get those really cheap?
Yes, Colin had them in a charity.
Is that from B&M as well, Terry?
Eh?
Is that from B&M as well? It is.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I'll be down there on the weekend.
Yeah. You sold it.
You're really upmarket. You are.
They were £5.95, and I waited until they put them down in price.
You waited until they put them down in price from $5.99.
Yeah, that's funny.
I think you and Steve could be competing for cheapskate
of the year.
Yeah,
of the eon.
Oh no! I paid nearly a £5 for that pumpkin. I should have.
Oh wow! Look out! So I do have to say this: on Halloween, my mother would have turned 102. And
wow.
Yes, my mom was in her 40s when she had me. So yeah, and so Halloween is always kind of a sacred day for me in a weird way, and it was when she was alive too.
How old was she when she died?
86.
Okay.
So she's been gone 15 years.
Yeah.
So,
do you like my new stand?
oh, I love it. I love it. And I love your logo that you always use. Now, who drew that for you?
Ian Richardson.
Oh, Ian did a wonderful job.
Yeah.
Well, Ian's top notch, isn't he? Legit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got several things for me at Thought Bubble that I've asked him to do.
Oh, that's great. I wish I could be there with you guys. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, you should come over one year, Bill.
I would love to. It sounds like a really good time. And I'm sure we wouldn't drink at all, Mark.
I think I might try and introduce you to some non-purple haze beers.
I would be more than happy with that. I'm very open to other beer. I'm going to a place called the Yard House tonight that has like 100 and something beers on tap. But
nice.
They do have purple haze, so I'm probably going to land on that one. but I can navigate with purple. It's only 4.2%, and that's a good thing for me.
Yeah.
So, well, guys, have a wonderful night. Thank you for a great show.
Cheers,
and we'll talk to you all soon. Have a great happy Halloween.
Cheers, Bill.
Cheers.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.